got patrol.
On a chilly Friday night here on the east side of White Bear Lake, the brats have been broken out, as have the chips and the nachos here at George Smith Field, home of the Zephyrs. It's homecoming between the Packers of South St. Paul and your Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Alongside John Miller, I'm Alex Westhead, and John, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs enter this game today at 3-1, but there's still always a tough out here in Class 5A.
Oh yeah, they're a fantastic team. You know, they got their butts beat last week by St. Thomas, but I think they're going to be ready to roll, and this is going to be an exciting suburban grade matchup.
Of course, perfect football weather here on the east side of White Bear Lake. 47 degrees, mostly clear, and a wind out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour, but dropping as the night progresses.
Yeah, you know, last Friday was a little cold. It's going to be a little colder this week, so it could have an effect. Those guys got to get those hands ready and warm, because that ball is going to be hard tonight.
Our players to watch, we start with number 49, Eric Bjork for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Very dangerous threat as the Zephyrs will look to establish the run here tonight. And the Zephyrs will kick off and will start on defense, kicking left to right across your television screen. Thank you for joining us here, and we are underway. A line drive kick to the back of the end zone. The Packers will field it at about the 5-yard line, up to the 10, to the 20, across midfield to the 30, to the 40. He's going to keep running on that far side to the 50. He's knocked out of bounds at the 45, and an excellent kickoff return, John, for South St. Paul.
Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. He's not on their roster, but nonetheless, he's got them set up across the 45-yard line in great field position. That's exactly how South St. Paul wants to start this game.
Well, speaking of South St. Paul, our player to watch for the Packers tonight, it's their senior quarterback, number 5, Jackson Lurs, as we take a look at the kickoff return, and a lot of room on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of does this himself. You know, great blocking up front. He makes the hole, but then all that's, you know, breaking tackles, and he's going to be tackled at the 45-yard line, and, you know, they're in Mahtomedi territory. But there is a penalty, so this will be pushed back.
I think I saw a personal foul on South St. Paul. Perhaps something after the play had expired in the fracas that happened on the far end zone, but either way, it gives South St. Paul the ball. 1st and 10, moving right to left at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Chad Sexauer for South St. Paul cannot be happy with that. You were starting off on Mahtomedi side of the football. Maybe a dumb taunting penalty or something sets you back 15 yards, and that's unfortunate.
And the quarterback for the Packers tonight looks like to be Marquise Gleb, the sophomore. The quarterback at 180 as far as weight goes. We'll get a transfer the ball here.
You got to imagine that Jackson Lures is injured this week. He's their normal starter. He's leading the team in rushes and passing. Something's going on there. He definitely, an injury must have popped up.
Gleb with his first start of the season, no recorded yards passing yet in play this year, as this is the 5th game for both teams. South St. Paul at 2-2, and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs at 3-1.
Yeah, so look at this formation that they're in right now. They have, you know, 3 running backs in the backfield. This is what they're going to do. They're going to try to run the ball down your throat.
It's almost a victory formation look. As Gleb under center, gets a handoff, pushes it up the middle. A nice run here on 1st down. It's a 10-yard gain and a nice run right up the middle. I believe that's Sam Miatke up the middle and across midfield, and should be closer to 1st down.
Yeah, just a quick handoff up the middle. Miyake takes it himself, and now he's across the 50, one yard away from 1st down.
2nd and 1 upcoming for South St. Paul. They run that bunch formation in the backfield again.
Yeah, South St. Paul is just going to run down your throat, run, and then maybe once, they're only going to throw about 5 passes a game.
Gleb hands it off. Miyake has it again. This time he'll be stopped after a couple of yards, but enough for that 1st down. For South St. Paul, rather, at the Mahtomedi 47. Now, John, if you're looking at that package in the backfield, how do you stop that if you're Mahtomedi?
I don't know. You just stack the line is all I can imagine. You know, as you saw right there, Gleb waited until the last. It's kind of like an option power run. He just hands it off super late. He reads the defense real quick. You got that handoff in there pretty late.
Gleb back under center, 3 in the backfield with him. Crowd comes to life, making some noise here. Handoff on the left side of that bunch formation up the middle. I think that was Tyler Wilelski Hendrickson up the middle for the Packers.
Yeah, Hendrickson, you know, which way is he going to go? Is he going to turn right? Is he going to turn left? Who is he going to hand off to? But Hendrickson picks up that, picks up those couple yards, and they got 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6 on the 43 of Mahtomedi.
Nothing but runs so far for the Packers of South St. Paul. 2nd and 6 from the Mahtomedi 43-yard line. The quarterback, Gleb, again under center. 3 in the backfield. Gleb, the handoff again. Up the middle, short gain. Should be, looks like 2 again, as that was Wablewski. Up the middle, 3rd and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, Maurice Gleb, he is the sophomore, but he's actually a receiver normally. Jackson Lewis is hurt, so you know he's got 6 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown this year for the Packers. So, you know, this is his first taste at quarterback though thus far.
3rd and 5 upcoming for South St. Paul on the Mahtomedi 42-yard line. 9:40 and counting left to go here in this first quarter of play. Gleb under center. Handoff on the right side. Bunch formation up the middle. Couple of yards there. Looks like about 3. That will be short for the first down rather. And if you're South St. Paul with the success of the run, do you go for it here?
Yeah, all you need is 3 yards to play, and that's what they've been averaging. And they're gonna, you know, they only got 2 to pick up left here. They're gonna go for it. Why not? You're 2-2. You're a little behind in the division. You got to make bold plays if you want to turn around your season.
4th and 1 upcoming here for South St. Paul on the Mahtomedi 37.5-yard line, we'll call it. As Gleb steps under center again. 3 in the backfield. Quick handoff. He'll keep it himself. Pushing.
He did not pick it up.
He did not pick it up. He did not move very far, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Mahtomedi will get the football.
Yeah, it really looked just like an inexperienced quarterback there by Gleb, as you'll see this. He kind of just reads the defender. Nonetheless, Mahtomedi had great penetration up front and forced the turnover on downs.
Almost as if he and Miotke were on the same, or weren't on the same play, as it looked like he was trying to hand the ball off to Miotke on that down.
Yeah, they'll definitely go through some growing pains. Sophomore quarterback. This is a really tough ask to go into Mahtomedi and try to win this game. I mean, first start of the year, Mahtomedi, you know, one of the best teams in the conference year in and year out, and you're playing at their stadium, and this is your first start. Good luck.
Mahtomedi starting 1st and 10 on their own 38. First play action, rolls to the right, dumps over the middle. He's open for a first down as he'll keep going across midfield, taken down at the 48-yard line. A nice little play action catch and run there for the Zephyrs, as that's Michael Hershey with a first down grab.
Oh, I'll tell you what though, as great of a play as this was, Arlenson missed a wide open Hadley who had a nice little route here. He was wide open, and I think he would have scored a touchdown if Arlenson would have just picked up his head and threw it to him. He was a good 30 yards downfield. He could just bombed it to him and ran it to the house.
Jake Arledson, 440 yards passing into this game, 28 yards rushing, so not a huge threat to run for the Zephyrs. Sends a man in motion to his left, under center. High formation hand up, big man up the middle. Still churning and burning. Got a nice gain out of that play. 44 yards. That's Hershey again up the middle. 2nd down.
Oh, yeah, Hershey's a big boy. You get those legs going, and he ain't going to be stopped. See right here, he gets that first initial contact, and then those squat reps just helped him out right there.
2nd and 6 officially from the South St. Paul 42-yard line.
And Arlenson, he's really got the starting job. The first game of the year, they were switching out him and Sam Bell, and Bell got hurt that first game. Ever since it's been the Arlenson show.
Arlenson under center, gets the offense to jump. A free play, I thought, but they'll blow it dead. A 5-yard penalty. That'll set up a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers would have loved that. Nice cadence right there by Arlenson to draw the defenders offside. Now they're going to have 2nd and short. About 1 yard to go.
John, a talking point that I've always wondered, and you as a former football player can certainly attest to this, but as a defensive player on the road, what makes it so difficult to stay onside in those situations?
Oh, I think you're getting too amped up and you're not looking at the ball. You got to keep your eyes on the ball. It's right there.
2nd and 1. Upcoming here from the South St. Paul 38. Arlenson drops back, throws onto the far side. He's got a man beat, and it's just over his head as he was looking to target Javon Hadley. 2nd in receiving yards on the team with 163. 3rd down.
Yeah, Hadley just burned his man down the near side of the field, and Arlenson just misses him right here. That's unfortunate. You know, you got a big-bodied wide receiver like that. At least give him a chance to catch it. I mean, he's gonna jump up and catch it. He's got the size. He's got the speed. He's got the jump skills.
3rd and 1 upcoming. We'll see what the Mahtomedi Zephyrs elect to go with here in high school football. Not really in field goal range at this point.
I love that play call, though. It's it's 4 down territory. You're in the South St. Paul side of the field. 2nd down and 1, you take a shot all the way down.
Split back set behind Arlinson. Gets a snap, handoff up the middle, well more than enough for a first down as he's almost to the 30. He's set at the 32 and a first down for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, Bjork averaging 100 yards a game this year. This kid's fantastic. He really reminds me of a faster version of TJ Tumbleson from a few years ago. I mean, this kid's got nifty feet and the strength to just pick up more yards.
Eric Bjork, the leading rusher for these Mahtomedi Zephyrs at 400 yards on the season, entering play today, averaging, in that case, if my math is correct, 100 yards a game. Arlinson under center, again split back, 2 out to the right. As Arlinson gets into the cadence, gets a snap and the handoff, he'll keep it himself. Churn for a couple of yards forward, a 4-yard gain on that play, 2nd down.
Yeah, he really just followed Bjork on that one, faked the handoff and followed Bjork up into that hole. Got a gain of about 3. Yep, just fakes the handoff and follows Bjork. I think if he would have, there's a huge hole right there, he could have hit that, but I think he was more worried about just picking up those yards. And that's what Mahtomedi loves to do. They love to just run, control time of possession, then maybe hit you with the deep pass.
2nd and 7 from the South St. Paul 28. 1 receiver out each side. I formation set behind Arlinson, the quarterback. Arlinson into the cadence. Gets him to jump again. No flag on this one as Arlinson rolls out to the right, looking downfield through the hands of the intended receiver as he was looking for Michael Hershey again. Incomplete 3rd down.
Yeah, pretty much just the same play. Hershey was open. Arlinson just throws it a little too high. And once again, he got the defenders on the near side to jump, and they're clearly not watching the ball. I've watched them the last 4 plays. They're not paying attention to the ball either way, and they're getting terrible jumps when the ball is snapped. If I'm, the defensive coach for South St. Paul, you go back and watch this film, it's like, hey guys, you taught this in 2nd grade. Watch the ball. And you'll get, that's how great defensive linemen jump snaps.
3rd and 7 upcoming here for Mahtomedi. 2 split out to the right. I formation behind Arlinson, the quarterback. As Arlinson gets a snap, drops back, throws right side over the middle, almost intercepted. As the receiver and quarterback on miscommunication there. Mike Jones on the coverage for the Packers, 4th down.
Yeah, you'll see this. It just bounces off the St. Paul defender. He doesn't even get his head around it. By the time he knew it hit him, it just bounces off his chest. So this is a better angle. Let's see if he did end up seeing this one. Yeah, he saw it way too late. He was more worried about Hadley, and then once he saw it get past Hadley, he's like, oh, that's to me. Whoops.
Zephyr offense stays on the field, 4th and 7 from the South St. Paul 28. I formation behind Arlinson, 1 left, 1 wide out to the right.
This is going to Hadley.
Drops back, looking to the right side, looking, he got it there, that's Hadley. Turns, burns 1 man to the 18. He's got enough for a first down, and the ball keeps moving for these Zephyrs.
I'm not going to tell you I called it, but he does love to go to Hadley on those 4th downs in the opening game of the year. He went to Hadley all the time, and then as well, they went on a 4th and 22 on this side of the field in the opening game of the year, and they picked that up as well. They're not afraid to go for it on 4th down. Coach Metzel loves to go for it.
Excellent shot there from our camera crew as the Zephyrs pick up the first down. 1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 17 inside the red zone. First time early in the game for either team tonight. I formation. Handoff to Bjork. Bjork turns a speed, tripped up as he went down. Looked like he tripped over his own feet. He'll fall flat at the 10. 2nd down.
You got to shorten up those shoelaces. Looked like he just tripped him up a little bit. He had the blocking. Looked like he was really going to pick up a huge chunk of yards. Nonetheless, he got a gain of about 6. Let's watch his replay. He just really trips over his own ankle right there. That's unfortunate. He had the hole. And look at that great block up front by Hershey.
Another I formation set for the Zephyrs, 1 left, 1 right. A balanced set as the Zephyrs tend to use more times than not. Arlinson under center, gets the hand off, the snap, a play action play, throwing left corner, looking for Hadley. Caught! Touchdown.
He dropped it.
No, he did drop it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that looked like a touchdown for sure there, John, but it's incomplete, 3rd down.
Yeah, he was really just coming to the ground and he dropped it. Once he had this all the way, and then once his butt hit the ground, he dropped it. What a great pass by Arlinson, puts it up where Hadley can get it, and he just bobbled it.
Well, he talked, John, about the process of completing the catch, and that's one that certainly Javon Hadley would like to have back.
Yeah, in that last replay, you could really see the pain on Hadley's face. I mean, this kid's a great wide receiver. He might be just as good at football as he is at basketball. I mean, this kid is an athlete.
3rd and 5, 2 out to the left. I formation behind Arlinson. See, he gets the snap, the handoff to Bjork on the right side. They
room.
sweep to the right, cuts it back, keeps on moving. He'll be down inside the 5. Looks like they'll give him the spot of the 3. First and goal for the Zephyrs.
First and goal from the 3. I mean, Bjork, well, this kid just knows how to run the ball.
War on the tackle.
Effective rushing so far here for Mahtomedi, John.
Oh yeah, short, and they're not afraid to go to the short side of the field here where there's not much space to go. They got great lead blocking. They trust their guys to open up the holes, and they just hit it.
First and goal from the 3-yard line here for Mahtomedi. Looks like a bunch set at the line, 1 out to the left, 2 in the backfield behind Arlenson, the quarterback. As Arlenson gets the handoff, play to the right, it's Bjork. Bjork pushing, he might be there. Depends on the spot. They will give second down. He was just a couple of inches short.
Yeah, that's about as close as you can get to being in the end zone, but nonetheless, they got 3 more downs to get in.
On the tackle. Second and goal, Zephyrs.
See the handoff right there. Once again, Hershey just blocking his man. I mean, this kid's, how would you like to run behind this kid? You're not going to really get touched until you're a few yards down the field.
Second and short upcoming here for Mahtomedi. Arlenson split back behind him, couple extra tight ends in line. Arlenson sneaking himself. He got it. Touchdown, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, you saw that. Once they went in the split running back formation, you knew Arlenson was going to take that himself up the middle. I mean, you got 6 inches to go. Why do you need to do any more than that than just go straight ahead?
An effective run up the middle, polishing off a very nice opening drive for this Mahtomedi Zephyrs. A balanced rush and passing attack for the teams. It looks like they send the kicker out. We'll see if it holds on to be an actual kick or not. There was some people rumoring that it might be for 2, but we will see, of course.
That's Pilarski, the soccer player. Very good one.
Pilarski's kick up the middle, perfect, right down the middle. And with that, John, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs take a 7-0 lead early in this one.
Yeah, it's kind of what you expect. I mean, this Mahtomedi team's super, they're a really good team. I was really surprised that they were shut out 21-0 by St. Thomas Academy after I called a game last week. I went, immediately to the MN Football Hub on the Star Tribune, and I was like, no, that's not possible. This Mahtomedi team's fantastic. They usually got St. Thomas's number, but, they're going to turn around this week and destroy these Packers, I think.
Well, John, in our conversation before the game started, we noticed how South St. Paul has been a force in 4A football for a very long time, ever since the districts and the conferences realigned, to the point where they have been in the state tournament since 2011. They've been in there every year except for 1. What is it in your experience that is so good about the South St. Paul squad?
Oh, South St. Paul, they just develop a great running attack. I mean, every year, as you see it right now, they just stack the box, and they force you to stack the box against them. It's our trenches are better than your trenches, and that's exactly how they're going to run it down your throat until you can't stop them. As we saw, Mahtomedi stopped them the first drive, but South St. Paul, those two, when they were in the same conference last few years, they just went back and forth, and as well as they shared the title a couple times.
Pilarski appeared to do a bit of a stutter step on that kick. You see a flag on the far side of the field, I think well-deserved, certainly. As we'll wait to see how far they'll push Mahtomedi back. Pilarski, you'll notice, has quite the hair going, hair already in full hockey mode. Of course, with hockey practices starting in just a couple of weeks. Will be a legal procedure, the official call. They'll back it up to the 35 where the kick will be, only 5 yards.
Pilarski, if you guys can remember way back, he went to North St. Paul originally, and he was a very good hockey player. He's a part of that. They had 4 great players who were all sophomores and freshmen that led them, pretty far into the playoffs. He just transferred to Mahtomedi.
Pilarski's kick topped it off, a run up the middle. He's met by a Murray of Zephyrs right to the 40. Not quite sure which number it was. It may have been 23 Dylan Cackle who got there.
It looks like there's some laundry on the field. I don't know what happened at the end of this play, but the ref was pretty quick to throw this penalty. So you watch right here. Just comes up the middle. Did somebody come in late? Yeah, that's number 31. Coach Metzel's not going to be able to. That's Nick Weisner, the backup running back. Woo, that's something they're going to go back on the film and just say, why? Why did you do that? It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? These are just kids. They got to learn from their mistakes.
John, I thought from my initial it looked like he may have been pushed down by a Packer, but of course, from our perspective up here, difficult to tell at times.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. He definitely looked like he was, still trying to put some pressure on there. Not too sure. Nonetheless, 15 yards ahead. They start off where they're going to start their first drive.
There is head coach Dave Metzel. Of course, we've had our conversations with him, the longest tenured football coach here in SEC territory, 25 seasons at the helm of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. We get another flag here. We get, they appeared to mark it the wrong way. We'll wait for the official.
No, that was Dominic Fetty, the backup quarterback, was lined up in the neutral zone just to start the play. Ref waved, said he threw the flag, and then he looked at him and he waved him to jump back a little bit. That's unfortunate. You got him at 1st and 5. Now they're at the 39-yard line, and now they're just going to try to run it down your throat and tie this game up.
Generous field position for the second straight drive here for South St. Paul. Scoreless on their first one. They'll send a man in motion to the right, run up the middle, met immediately by they forced the Mahtomedi Zephyrs right up the middle. I think that was Walebski who had it.
Yeah, Gleb really should have took that one himself. He set up his running back to just get crushed on this one.
2nd and 5.
But either way, I think Mahtomedi played that pretty well. They would, even if Gleb kept that one, he was going to get crushed as well. So, you know what? Kind of devil's advocate on that one.
2nd and 5 from the Mahtomedi 39. 3 minutes almost and counting here in this opening quarter. Zephyrs lead 7-0. Gleb under center, another handoff up the middle. And it seems, John, with the continued reliance on the run game, South St. Paul doesn't seem to trust their aerial attack.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to trust a sophomore. As we've seen in North St. Paul, when you got a sophomore quarterback, it's tough to throw the ball, as well as South St. Paul just doesn't throw the ball at all. Like I said, they're going to throw it 5 times a game, but I think they need to start hitting some runs on the outside. Mahtomedi is very stout up front defensively. Number 52, Elijah Heatherston, is fantastic. He's a big boy, and he's very disruptive.
3rd and 4. Gleb under center again with 3 in the backfield. Gleb gets it delayed handoff, pitch to the outside, almost mishandled, run up the middle, back to the 40. They'll lose 2, as that was the junior Cam Klunder who got the ball for South St. Paul, and 4th down.
Yeah, this Mahtomedi defense, they were ready for it. As I said, they weren't getting nothing done up the middle, so they're going to try it on the outside. But Mahtomedi has got a quick defense. This team's very good.
Well, looks like the Packers will send on the punt team here, or perhaps try to draw some sort of a fake punt. You never know, really, as that'll be the senior Sam Miatke, the running back as well, back to kick for the Packers.
Tangwall back to receive. And, that's really unfortunate. You had 20 yards worth of penalties just to start that drive, and you get nothing going.
Miatke's punt, a line drive. Picked up at the 15. Tangwell met by a couple of Packers right away down at the 16. And it'll be a tough field position for Mahtomedi here to start their second drive.
Yeah, it's definitely not great. But, they're past they're at the 16, 17-yard line. Quick little weird punt there. Never seen. That was a really line drive. It had a hang time of about a half a second. So Tangwall really couldn't do anything with it. Sorry, Alex.
So an efficient drive for Mahtomedi starts out their game here tonight on homecoming night. Again, the stands on the Mahtomedi side of the field appear to be relatively full, and the crowd trickling over to the visiting side as well. 1st and 10 from the 17 of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Throw on the far side. It's picked up a couple of yards there. Looks like you got about 5 on that one. 2nd down.
Yeah, just a quick hitter to Tangwall. Mahtomedi is going to do that, and then they're going to try to, they'll keep running. They're not afraid to pass the ball either. Very well balanced attack. Once Tangwall, he sat in that area. He did a quick little 4 yards and turn around. Hopefully Arlinson hits him, and I think Arlinson just hit him, a second too late, or else Tangwall could have picked up a few more yards. Let the defender come back and get him.
2nd down, and looks like the spot will be 4. Arlinson under center, gives it to Bjork up the middle, keeps on pushing. Physical play there. It looks like he's a yard short. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, it really looked like the South St. Paul defenders just picked him up. Let's watch this. See right here, he just gets the handoff, and then he's picked. He was picked up. That's a big boy to pick up there.
Yeah, you'll notice that, of course, South St. Paul having to throw 2 defenders on Eric Bjork. The size, the speed, and the strength playing to the seniors' key traits here tonight.
Yeah, 400 total yards in 4 games on the year. This kid's fantastic.
Arlinson under center again. Split formation keeps him himself. Packers were fooled. A nice gain on the QB sneak gives them 6. 1st down, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, that's a great play to run. A lot of high schools used to do that. I haven't seen it in a long time, but the quarterback just sees a huge hole up the middle. you kind of just do a silent snap and let the center lead the way. I loved that play when I was in high school. I was a center. It was one of my favorites. But, you know, if there's some line, you got to also read the linebackers on that play. If the linebackers in the middle, when the defensive tackles are split up a little bit, the play still won't work. Linebackers were split out a little bit, and he had the hole, and he hit it.
1st and 10 here as the clock winds down here on this opening quarter of action. Arlinson under center. Drops back to pass, looking to the left side, throws it. He's got Tang Wall. Nice catch and run on the sideline with 4.3 left to go here in this first quarter. Another first down for Mahtomedi through the air.
Yeah, what a fantastic pass by the senior. Arlinson, he threw this ball before Tangwall was even looking. He put it right where Tangwall will be. He turned his head around right there. Gets that foot down and gets the possession, gets a gain of about 15.
Well, they'll have one more play here in the last stages of this opening quarter. 1st and 10 from the Mahtomedi 46 for the Zephyrs. Arlinson under center again with the cadence, gets the Packers to jump again. No flag. Arlinson throwing deep on the near side, bounced in the air and down as the receiver Hadley was going with it with Brandon Ogren, and it falls incomplete, and that's how this first quarter ends.
Yeah, great coverage by Brandon Ogren right there, and you know, Hadley really couldn't do nothing with it, even though it did hit him in the hands. You'll watch this right here. Ogren leaving no room right there for him to catch the ball. And it really looked like there was an offsides right there. I don't know why that wasn't called. But Arlinson, you know, he might have thought he had a free play. And yeah, just a little underthrown. But Ogren was in the right spot.
End of the first quarter, Mahtomedi leading South St. Paul here 7-0. We'll be right back after a quick break. It's your home for Mahtomedi football, SEC Sports.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And welcome back from that very brief break. Alongside John Miller, I'm Alex Westad. Mahtomedi Zephyrs leading South St. Paul Packers by a score of 7-0 as we start the second quarter. Sides have switched, and Arlinson begins under center. One left, one right. Hands off to the near side. Bjork up the middle, cross midfield. He keeps pushing, extends. I think they should give him the spot to the 48, but he'll get it at the 49.
Yeah, just great lead blocking once again, and Bjork's just got to follow his blockers, and he picks up a gain of about 5.
3rd and 5, the official demarcation on the field. As we'll get a play call as Tangwell will come in for Mahtomedi.
You got to imagine if Mahtomedi scores in this drive, it's going to be awfully tough for South St. Paul to come back in this game the way they play offense. I mean, you know, just a run. You got to be able to pass.
Arlinson under center, 2 in the backfield behind him. Handoff goes to Bjork. Bjork gets some nice blocks, falls down, runs right into a Packer, and gets the spot for another Mahtomedi first down.
Oh, man, if I'm number 35, Torrey Clark, he just got a whole head of Bjork right to the thigh. That looked like it hurt. Watch this right here in the replay. Oof. That does not feel good. I tell you what, you better have your thigh pads in, young man.
Now as we see some of the middle schoolers beginning to huddle together for warmth on the concourse. Again, a very chilly night, seasonably so, but still chilly nonetheless for those who are unprepared, as middle schoolers often tend to be. 1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 43. Arlinson under center, hand off to Bjork. Faked anyway, fooled me. A nice catch over the middle on a great play-action read there for Javon Hadley. First down, Mahtomedi.
I tell you what, I liked Arlinson in the first game. I thought, you know, he played well, but he missed some passes. He ain't missing this. Look at this one. Beautifully put ball. I love it. I love to see the growth in him throwing that ball.
And a great play to reach and get up for that one for Javon Hadley to give Mahtomedi a first down.
To me, that's expected. Hadley's amazing. He's an amazing wide receiver. And you know what? He's just a junior, so he's going to be terrorizing defenses for the next 2 years.
The 6'6" junior, 186 on the weight. Big threat on the court and on the football field as well. Arlinson under center, 2 behind him in the backfield, 2 on the left. Up the middle, handoff, free daylight, touchdown, Mahtomedi. Straight run up the middle for Michael Hershey. No one touched him on his way to the end zone. 13-0 Zephyrs.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Alex. Untouched. He literally wasn't touched. Let's see if they even got a hand on his legs or anything right here once we get the replay up and running. But great blocking up front to open up that hole for Hershey. You'll see it right here. Nope, just does a stutter step to the left at the beginning of the play. Whew, he is a big boy. What stats you got for him on how big he is?
Well, for him, he's listed at 5'11", 213 for the senior.
That's a big high school running back.
As we'll have number 30, Zach Kozlak, coming on to kick the extra point. His kick is a little wide to the left, and I think they'll mark this no good, and it'll be 13-0.
Yeah, like we said before they scored this touchdown in this drive, I don't know if South St. Paul is going to be able to have the offense. You got a sophomore quarterback. They're not really doing anything here. Can they come back?
We'll take a brief break. 13-0 Zephyrs, your home for Zephyr football, SEC Sports.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Another rushing touchdown for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs as they take a 13-0 lead here. 10:29 to go. Second quarter of play. Alongside John Miller, I'm Alex Westad, and a homecoming football match that so far has been very one-sided in favor of the home team.
Hey, they're giving the fans something to cheer about homecoming night. Got to come away with the W, don't you? Nothing wrong with starting off with a 13-0 lead.
Pilarski on the kickoff here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, why did he not kick the extra point?
Good question. A stutter step again. We'll see if the flag gets flown. Another line drive kick. Both teams have had problems. It gets by the back as he'll pick it up at the 10. Able to cut a couple of runs, keep going. 2 flags fly on the field. He's still going onto the 20-yard line. We'll see if this doesn't back South St. Paul up. John, like you said, a couple of blocks in the back.
Yeah, if we get that replay, you'll see once the flags were thrown, the South St. Paul blocker knew exactly what he did. He just puts his hands up and he's like, dang it.
John, we've seen it a couple of times now from both sides where the kickers seem to be topping off the ball on the kickoffs or on the extra point as well. What do you make of that as the game moves on?
For Mahtomedi, I like that because, you know, things like that, exactly what you're seeing here on this replay happen. You know, high school kids don't have the surest hands in the world. They're not, you know, they're not college players. Even college players don't have the surest hands. You force them to use those hands that aren't that great to pick up the ball that's bouncing, and you don't know which way it's going to bounce. And as you saw right there, it got past them, and now, you know, they didn't get very much on the return either.
South St. Paul starting their third drive of this football game on their own 9-yard line, pinned back in deep. Looks like, again, they'll have that big box formation behind the quarterback, Marquise Gleb. Sends a man in motion to the left. Handoff as he will push it away. Pushed it further to the far side, stayed in bounds, did not get anything, only barely got back to the line of scrimmage, second down.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a 1-yard loss right there. I mean, nothing going.
John, we've seen this a couple of times now from South St. Paul where they continue to run the ball. At what point, if you're South St. Paul, do you try to initiate Gleb by trial by fire and just have him throw the ball to see what he can do?
I don't know. You got a very good Ryan Smith, a defensive back, on your only wide receiver in the game. It's going to be tough to pass the ball. As well as they already got one safety deep, so if they really try anything, nothing's going to happen. I mean, they're eventually, but they got to try something different.
Gleb loses the handoff. He gets it right back, but the Zephyrs are quick on him. 6 Mahtomedi football players on him. Loss of what looks to be 2. Third down coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a bobbled snap, and Gleb had nowhere to go with it once he finally picked it up, and he gets a gain of 0 yards.
3rd and 11 on the scoreboard from the South St. Paul 7.
Yeah, it really looked like he lost another yard. I don't know, that didn't end up being 3rd and 12 nonetheless.
Again, in the high formation. No, it is still that 3-back set. Gleb a pitch onto the far side, running laterally. Ball's out the back of the end zone. This should be a safety. Well, they are not signaling anything quite as yet. This should be a safety, John. We're waiting for the official rule.
I think clearly the ref doesn't know the rules, because that should have been an easy call for the ref to make. I mean, that's a safety. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
At least that's what we saw, again, from our vantage point. I don't think that it could have snuck out on the near side of the pylon, and there is the safety call. And that gives Mahtomedi the 15-0 lead.
Yeah, if you just watch this, I mean, Gleb had to pitch that one, and what the running back did right there where he screwed up is he immediately started running backwards. That's Klender. Klender literally just starts running backwards, and he was already at the goal line. And then, he gets nice slap away right there by number 22 to force that fumble. That's Cole McCarver, the senior. Just slapping that ball away out out the side of the end zone, excuse me. Great defensive play, but very, very poor job by the runner for South St. Paul.
Well, John, you talk so much about moving north and south on the football field with the football as opposed to east to west. And in that drive, we saw a lot of runs that were laterally as we, again, take a look at the state tournament history. This is a program that expects better than what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, besides 2012, since 2011, one time they didn't appear in the state tournament, that was 2012. Otherwise, they've been full of upsets. They were upset by Cloquet last year, as well as Winona. I mean, this is a team, they've never won the state tournament in the last 7 years. I mean, this is a very good football team just to even make it that far in 4A. But you got to think it's because they play some really tough competition during the year, because Mahtomedi is 5A. Simley and Sibley are up there too.
Well, we'll get a free kick upcoming here from the spot of the third down, I think. Or they'll have them set up at the 15. I think, John, in all the years I've done high school football as a student and now working for SEC TV, this is the first time I've seen a safety and a free kick.
Oh, really? That's kind of crazy. But, what's kind of funny is, they mix the extra point and then they get the safety. The defense is like, all right, we're going to get those extra points back for you.
A nice free kick as Tangle goes to pick it up at the 30, coming back to the near side at the 40, hit hard and goes down. Some great coverage there by South St. Paul, but still a generous spot at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, they got great field position. I mean, they're going to have great field position no matter what. I mean, it's just a punt. Tangwall had to back up for that kick a little bit. That was a nice punt, as he wasn't expecting it to go that far, and then he kind of didn't know where he was going, and he's slowed down, and then he gets the big hit there by the South St. Paul kickoff coverage man.
We'll get 1st and 10 for Mahtomedi here as they look to add to their 15-0 lead. 8:46 to go here. Second quarter of play from George Smith Field at the or the summit, I guess, of Mahtomedi High School. Under center, it is Arlinson again. Arlinson gets a snap, dropping back, looking to the near side, looking for Hadley again. Hadley lost it as it was covered there by Oscar Diaz by the South St. Paul Packers. And John, the defender, looked to just stand still there.
Yeah, I think it was miscommunication there between Arlinson and Hadley. Hadley ran a different route than where Arlinson started throwing the ball, and then Hadley had to recover because Hadley started running a little out route, and then Arlinson kind of expected him to go vertical. And so Hadley had to recover right there and just kind of go up and try to defend this ball.
Max Bauer on coverage, leaping back to get it. 2nd and 10 here for Mahtomedi from their own 40. Arlinson under center again in an I formation set. He'll get the handoff again. Bjork up the middle, keeps churning the legs. Gain of about 3 there. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Nice job by Bjork right there, just picking up what the defense gives them, and they're going to have 3rd and 7. This is a huge play for the South St. Paul defense. They have to get a stop if they want to stay in this game. 8:20 left to go in the second quarter. Can they do it?
Let's look at some substitutions here, and the Zephyrs will take the line of scrimmage. Send one out to the left, one out to the right. They've used that set a couple of times tonight. I formation in the backfield behind quarterback senior Jake Arlinson. Arlinson and his cadence gets a snap, drops back, avoids the pressure, able to leap out of the blitz. He'll carry it up himself for the 1st down across the 50, taken down at the 40 of the South St. Paul Packers. 1st down, Zephyrs.
Yeah, South St. Paul ran the right defense. They had 8 in the box to start that play, 8, and they were all within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. They had 4 linebackers up near the front and then 4 defensive linemen. And the pressure did get there. Unfortunately, they couldn't take down Arlinson, and Arlinson, picks up an extra 5 yards after the 1st down, and Mahtomedi's got great field position.
6 foot, 183 for the senior. 1st down upcoming here for the Zephyrs on their opponent 42. Arlinson under center, 2 in the backfield behind him. I formation set. into the cadence. He'll hand the ball off to Bjork again. Hits a couple of Packers up the middle. Gain of
Bjork on the
2, second
carry.
down.
Yeah, Bjork's starting to find a little trouble in the last possession and
Boomgarden
the start
on
of this
tackle
possession
for the
running the
Packers.
ball.
2nd and 8,
Just a little
Zephyrs.
handoff right there, and then great penetration by this South St. Paul defense.
Well, John, it seems so far that South St. Paul has made the adjustment to stack the box and take away the run. And on the last couple of drives where Bjork has run up the middle, we've seen that so far. But so far, the pass coverage hasn't quite been there.
No, absolutely not. But it's tough to guard guys like Hadley and Tangwall. I mean, Hadley's
Bjork on the
6'5".
carry.
That's almost impossible to cover. He really reminds me of a faster version of Andy Voyen, who
Below the
played here
tuck and
2
zones
years
on the
ago,
tackle.
who went on to play at North Dakota State. And,
3rd
he
and
was a big
3,
boy too. They
Zephyrs.
just have to throw the ball up to him. If they can't run it, they'll just bomb the ball to him and let him go up and use his huge size and get lots of yards as well as touchdowns.
Bjork on the handoff on that last play. Gain of 5. 3rd and 3 upcoming from the South St. Paul 35-yard line. As Bjork in the backfield, split set. Maybe another quarterback keeper here. Gets a handoff up the middle. Push. Bjork got sent backward. Gain of that looks like
Bjork
they'll
on the
give them
carry.
1. 4th and 2 upcoming now for the Zephyrs.
Oh, Mahtomedi is going to go for it hands down. I mean,
Christopherson on the
South St.
tackle
Paul,
for the
besides
Packers.
this start of this drive, hasn't really stopped anything that Mahtomedi has thrown at them.
4th
I get the ball to
and
Hersey
2
right here, and I
for
say,
the
hey, big
Zephyrs.
boy, go get those 2 yards.
A couple of substitutions on the offensive line coming here for Mahtomedi as the play talked about. It looks like
Timeout.
we'll get a timeout
Zephyrs.
here taken by the Zephyrs. Their first of this opening half, with the score being 15-0. 5:50 left to go here, John. And this is a chance here for Mahtomedi to really put this football game away.
Oh, yeah, I kind of think it's already put away, but they could definitely put it away right here, as you just said. And, like I said, just keep forcing the ball on this 4th down. Even if they don't pick it up, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, your defense is just absolutely demolishing South St. Paul's offense right now, giving them no room to breathe. But you have, a great running back, fullback tandem, as well as a quarterback who can throw the ball. Who knows what they'll call right here, but if I'm them, just pound it.
John, while we have a moment here, I'd like to talk about the Mahtomedi schedule the rest of the way. They have a couple of teams on that schedule that look to be very easy wins in North St. Paul and Forest Lake next week, I believe. That matchup on October the 12th against Tartan, that's going to be a really big decision on who the best team in this conference and who the best team in that section is.
Oh, yeah, Tartan's had a huge turnaround here. I mean, they weren't very good last year, so I think they went something like 2-7, including the playoffs. But you know what? Tartan right now is 2-0 in conference, 4-0 overall. They have a great team right now. They can throw the ball. They got a two-headed running back that can run it right down your throat. Guys who are very fast. Anton Kimmins, their basketball star, is a stud wide receiver for them. It's going to be a huge, great athletic matchup. Who's going to win the game on the ground? And I think Mahtomedi will, because they got great wide receivers.
We'll be there for that one. Of course, tape delayed as Arlenson gets the handoff, as you said, John, but it looks like South St. Paul has stopped him.
Yeah, I think the defensive coordinator heard me right here. He's sitting right next to me. He probably heard
on
me
the
say,
carry for the
oh,
Zephyrs.
I heard the guy next to me say it was probably
Lean on
Hersey,
the
so she
tackle.
probably stuffed the line. Nonetheless, that was exactly what the South St. Paul defense needs, and now the offense has to get their act together and, put some points on the board.
Well, again, we take a look. It looks like you're absolutely right,
That's
John.
actually Bjork.
Zephyrs turn the
Yeah, it
ball
was Bjork.
over on down.
Looked like right up the middle, and then there was support at that
1st
second
and
level.
10, Packers.
Yeah, he came up just short. So, they just got to get this. I don't know how they do it without passing the ball, but you got to get Kleb some confidence and get his swag going on and lead this offense to a score.
Webb the handoff up the middle, met immediately. Zephyrs are there, and they push him back. They'll give him forward progress. Looks like it'll be a loss of 3 on that one, 2nd and long.
Yeah, Hershey
Finger on the
is right
carry.
back there as well, playing offense and defense, and this kid can do it all. And as well as there's Heatherston. I mean, here's the 4th down play once again.
Hershey
Yeah,
on
this was the
tackle
4th down
for the
play. That did go to
Zephyrs.
Hershey. We had the wrong replay right there. Just stuffed at the line, ran right into the own back of his offensive lineman, and nowhere to go. But I don't know what South St. Paul's got to do something here. I mean,
Webb gets a handoff. He looked to throw. Turn on. That's going to be an interception. Mahtomedi football.
I think that's is that an interception or a strip sack? Because I think the ball was hit out of his hand. Is that an interception or is that a fumble recovery?
Interception by the
The
Zephyrs.
Mahtomedi football. We'll take a look at it here and see what actually happened. If that is an interception, first time for South St.
Let's
Paul
see.
throwing the football, disastrous results.
Stand on
Yeah,
the
that's a fumble
interception.
recovery right there. I mean, the ball was hit out of his hands before the act of throwing. Yep. And there's the fumble recovery, and that's number 9 right there. That's, excuse me, sorry. That's Grandstrand. The wide receiver also playing defense as well. A lot of guys who play both ways in this team. And man, that Mahtomedi defense just showing up, getting great pressure. And South St. Paul did just try to throw the ball. Unfortunately, terrible blocking. I mean, the defensive line for Mahtomedi is just winning the battle in the trenches, hands down. And this game's over before it even started.
First and 10 for Mahtomedi from the South St. Paul 27-yard line. Arlenson under center again. One left, one right, one in the backfield. There will be a false start penalty there,
Flag on the
as
play.
that was certainly Michael Hershey, who jumped just half a second early.
Yeah, you got a little too excited right there. You know, he just loves to block.
False
So
start Zephyrs.
he got super excited. You know what? 5 yards back. It's nothing for Mahtomedi. Ball goes back to the 32. Still outstanding field position to start this
First
drive
and
with 5
15,
minutes left to
Zephyrs.
go on the clock.
The Zephyrs look to continue to run the ball up the middle and put this game out of reach. Hopefully, if you're Mahtomedi by halftime.
I tell you what, this George Smith Field for Mahtomedi, it just feels like a great atmosphere to play football.
Arlenson again, delayed handoff. Bjork has it. Bjork still cutting and churning to the 25, taken down across the 15. That's
Bjork
exactly
on the
where he'll
carry.
land. Another big run for the Zephyrs, first down.
Yeah, what I like about Bjork is he's not only a bruiser, but once he saw that
Yellow
hole,
on the
he hit it
tackle.
quick. And then he picked up those extra yards. I mean, the hole was there. You'll see it right here.
Run
Once
was
we get it
good
played.
for a Zephyr first down.
All right, I don't know if that's going to work. So no replay right there. You just have to trust my analysis on that one.
First and 10 upcoming here for Mahtomedi. Arlenson, hand off the middle. Bjork again follows the blockers. Rushed up the middle, tripped down, ran right into a Packer.
Bjork
He'll
on the
be shot
carry.
short of that goal line to gain. First and goal upcoming for the
You
Zephyrs.
just watch Bjork's legs on that whole rush. Like,
All
I didn't
on
even
the
look at the upper
tackle.
half of his body. I knew he got the ball. Then you watch what he does with his feet
The
and
run
how
is
quick
good
he
for
is with his feet.
Zephyr.
It's
First and
ridiculous. And then he's
goal.
got the power to back up the quick feet. That's a nice combination.
It'll be first and goal upcoming, 4:29 and counting here to go.
Because he just
First half.
danced into that hole. Sorry, Alex. He once those, you know, he get a little ballet feet, just hit the hole. Beautiful.
Split back formation here behind Arlenson as they'll set up from the South St. Paul 2. Arlenson gives it off, looked up the middle, looked like he stopped short.
Hershey on the
May have
carry.
gotten a yard on that carry by Hershey, second down.
Yeah, Hershey's really had nowhere to go
Second and
besides
goal,
that one
Zephyrs.
touchdown run that he had. As you can see, great penetration there by the
Pat
defensive
Note on the
line by
tackle.
South St. Paul. They were expecting that,
We would
hands
like
down,
to
because
remind
even
the
if Bjork would have got the
senior
ball,
girls
defensive
participating
lineman
in
from
the
the other
match,
side
so please assemble.
was right there as well.
John, with the
Outside
ineffectiveness of the
corner
South
of the
St.
field.
Paul offense so far, you figure certainly 4-down territory here for the Zephyrs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you don't get it, they're going to have the ball within the 5-yard line. Maybe get another fumble, you know, out the end zone again.
Arlenson with Hershey and Bjork in the backfield. He'll keep it himself again,
He's
an
got
effective
it.
run up the middle. And we await for the spot. Touchdown,
Arlenson on the
Mahtomedi.
carry.
Another run up the middle that South St. Paul has had
Zephyr,
trouble dealing with tonight.
touchdown.
21-0 Zephyrs.
Arlenson with his second quarterback sneak right up the middle for the touchdown. Not too much, just follows the center up the middle. Great great jump by that offensive line, and they were, you know, following Heatherston. I mean, look at that blocking. Big boy. 2 rushing touchdowns on the day
Oswald in the kick
for
for the
Arlenson.
Zephyrs.
He's playing fantastic. Like I said, Sam Bell was playing very well that first game, but once he went down, Arlenson just took over the job, and he hasn't given it back.
Kozlak's extra point is good this time, and
Point
after
after is good.
that impressive drive by Mahtomedi and off the turnover, 22-0 Zephyrs lead this one.
Yeah, Mahtomedi just taking control of this game as you figured that they would do. As we talked about, South St. Paul not playing the best of competition, so they got their 2 wins in Henry Sibley and Simley. Mahtomedi has just shown you know, last week, I'm pretty sure they wish they could have a do-over from last week. I mean, that's very unlike a Dave Metzel squad to get shut out on the road. I mean, they've had St. Thomas's number, you know, for the last few years, and we'll, you know, they could play each other again.
Well, as we'll get play resumed here, South St. Paul with another chance to try to move this ball off the field, starting to go with the passes. finally they should have started doing earlier in my summation. But John, this one does certainly seem to be out of reach at this point.
Yeah, even that passing play that they called with the fumble and the recovery by the Mahtomedi defense, they had one guy running around. Where was he going to go? Like, they already had his safety over the top. He watched that one coming the whole way, and I'm pretty sure the receiver was triple covered.
Pilarski tops up the kick again, right into the arms of the waiting back, downfield, run up the middle, gets through a couple of blockers to the 35. Ball was on the field. As the Zephyrs were trying to catch them napping, a nice run up the middle. I think that was Noah Polodiachuk. I think it was 41 moving up the middle. First down, South St. Paul.
Yeah, very lucky right there by the Mahtomedi kickoff covering squad. It looked like he got a whole hand of face mask that he just didn't hold on to real quick, as you'll see right here. Yeah, you don't see it at that angle, but there was a whole hand of face mask. He never grabbed it, but it was, you know, he definitely hit it.
It's Colton Becker on the kickoff return for South St. Paul. And we'll get on the near side as Gleb will go back under center. Big box set behind.
There's two tight ends in the near side here. One wide receiver split out wide.
Have the handoff up the middle again, met by this Zephyr defense. Right up the middle, a short gain, second down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to beat Mahtomedi's defensive line, I think you got to hand it off to the strong side. You had the box stacked on the near side over here, and you handed it off to the very wide open. You know, all they had was two defensive linemen over here, but they had two offensive linemen over there. They had two offensive linemen and two tight ends on the near side of the ball. Why not just try? Why not just try it? Like what they try to do, a little counter, but I mean, nothing's working, and Mahtomedi's defensive line's getting great penetration.
2nd and 9. Gleb under center, 3 in the backfield. Delayed the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Found a little hole, but he's met immediately by 4 Zephyrs. Quick to gather him up. Gain of 3. Third down upcoming.
Yeah, gain of 1 yard, and you got to let Gleb just
Gleb
throw
on the carry.
Again, John, we saw in their last possession for the
York
Packers
on the tackle.
a play designed for the rush on third down. We'll see if we see it again here with 2:14 and counting here to go in this opening half.
Yeah, they're not going to change formation of this play. They're going to go once again with 3 running backs, and even if they pass the ball, this is the formation it's going to be in. Got 1 wide receiver, as I talked about, 2 tight ends here on the near side once again.
Under center, Gleb. He waits the snap, gets the handoff up the middle. Third down, another run up the middle. Gain of about 4, sets up a 4th and 2 scenario.
Walewski Hendrickson on the carry.
It's Walewski and Hendrickson on the carry up the middle, 4th down.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to go for it here. I don't understand the play call, but that's just the way South St. Paul is. Coach Sexauer is going to try to beat you, just ground and pound, but they don't. You know, Mahtomedi calls a timeout, but you know, nonetheless, South St. Paul's not going to deviate from what they do.
Timeout, Zephyrs.
Well, the second timeout taken by the Zephyrs. John, the story of the game tonight, perhaps a significant injury to the South St. Paul Packers, which has made this game a lot different than what it looked like on paper.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Lewis being out of the game is a huge thing. I mean, 171 passing yards in 4 games, 286 yards, leading the team in rushing with the quarterback. As you've seen, they try to get Gleb going, and I think Gleb just hasn't been able to, you know, being that he's a sophomore, it's harder for him to read the option as well. It's just tough. I mean, he's been playing wide receiver this year. He probably I mean, we're not sure, but I'm sure that Lures didn't practice all week, and he had time to practice. But still, this is his first game. He's a sophomore. I mean, remember when you were a sophomore? I didn't really know anything.
Packers look like they'll stay on to punt here. It is the running back who is a punter, so perhaps a threat to run here, but excellent coverage by the Zephyrs. A line drive punt going right into the hands up high. Met immediately, escapes a leg tackle, pushed out of bounds at the 25 as that was Tangwall back on the return duties for the Zephyrs, and it'll be 1st and 10 Mahtomedi from their own 25.
Yeah, Tangwall just tries to do a little too much dancing on that one. He just needs to run. Needs to find the hole, he needs to hit it. Nonetheless, great coverage by the South St. Paul punt team.
Stay tuned at halftime, folks. We will air an interview with Aaron Forsyth, new athletic director for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Athletics and activities, of course, starting his first season here in Mahtomedi, coming down from the Forest Lake area. Certainly glad to have him here as part of the Mahtomedi community.
Yeah, I'm sure he's glad, you know, to come over here from Forest Lake. I mean, Forest Lake's terrible at athletics.
Play up the middle. Looked like I thought it was Bjork who got the handoff. No, it's not Bjork. That'll be Hershey who got the run up the middle. Short gain. Second down.
Hershey with the carry.
I expect Mahtomedi to bomb this ball now here on this play. And then at 20 left to go in the second quarter.
They'll run the no huddle. Arlinson I formation. Gets a snap. Drops back, throwing right side into the hands, out of bounds. Nice catch and run there for Javon Hadley. First down on the far sideline.
Yeah, I don't think that Coach Metzel's fine just going up to this half 22-0. I mean, I've watched him too much over the past few years to know he's going to go for the throat. I mean, he wants to put JV in after halftime or in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And I think in this game, don't be surprised in the fourth quarter if we do see those JV players.
Get first and 10 from the Mahtomedi 42-yard line. Minute 13 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Arlinson under center again, I formation behind him. One left, one right. Drops back with the snap. Throwing on the right side, caught little underthrown as the ball bounces on the turf. He was looking for Tangwall. Second down.
Yeah, what we're seeing right here is a little bit of zone coverage from the South St. Paul defense. And they're letting Hadley have, you know, they're trying to split him up here. They're trying to play one cornerback just below him and then one cornerback just above him.
Second and 10, Zephyrs.
And it looks like, you know, if Arlinson can just air it up a little bit over the first, the near cornerback, he's going to be able to complete that pass every time.
Second and 10 upcoming here. Arlinson I formation again, one left, one right, as we've seen many times tonight. Drops back as he rolls to the left, looking for an outlet pass. He runs. He will be knocked out of bounds. I think he gained a yard or two on that play. Third down.
Yeah, gain of 3. And actually, nothing going, but if I'm them, I mean, why not just throw it to Hadley? They didn't even run it that way. They just ran a play action for Tangwall. I think they were trying to get the fullback a little outgoing. And just wasn't there because they've ran that play about 3 or 4 times.
3rd and 7 upcoming here from the Mahtomedi 45-yard line. Again, 4 down Terry due to the ineptitude so far of the South St. Paul offense. As he gets the snap, does Arlinson. Little dump off to Bjork. Hit by a couple of Packers, able to push forward back. Lost a yard on that play as the clock continues to run inside of a minute.
Yeah, they'll punt this one away, but let's talk about the terrible blocking on that screen pass. They had the offensive lineman right where they need to, and they both missed their blocks. And Bjork just gets hit. And then the lineman who missed his block also made an assisted tackle on that one as well. Just a terrible play from the offensive lineman's perspective. They'll go back and watch the tape tomorrow and, you know, kind of be like, ugh, because the play was there. It was set up perfectly.
South St. Paul electing to keep the timeouts in their pocket, and now they will finally take one after allowing about 40 seconds to run off the clock. 20 seconds left to go here in this first half.
That was terrible clock management. I mean, yeah, you just literally let 35 seconds run off the clock. And now, you know, what are you going to do at this time? Nothing.
Well, John, as we talk about the SEC, the Fab Four, as we now refer to them, and the quality of the football schools that we've seen so far, each program has really taken a step forward in far the quality of their athletic ability.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mahtomedi year in, year out, almost at every sport's fantastic, especially football. It's always fun watching them. But Tartan's been a big surprise this year. They're very down. They lost a couple seniors, but, you know, they got a new quarterback in there, as well as I talked about. They got the Tim Owen, who's just a beast on the ground. And then we got White Bear Lake winning a few games this year, and they're in 6A. I mean, 6A football is always fun to watch. It at the Stillwater White Bear Lake game last week, and they just manhandled Stillwater, something I never thought I'd see, you know, from the past couple of years watching this White Bear Lake program. They've been terrible, but you know what? They're playing really well under Coach Bartlett right now. Coach Bartlett going through his own struggles with cancer, and you know they're really making him proud.
High snap knocked into the air. Nobody back to receive it. Zephyrs will be comfortable with letting it bounce. It rolls a couple of times to the 24, 23 as the clock continues to wind. Stops now. And South St. Paul have a chance at a Hail Mary here with just only a couple of seconds left.
Yeah, I still don't know why they called the timeout. If you're just going to let the ball roll, maybe they would have set up a cool little punt play or, like, you know, a punt return play. I don't know, but it was – Coach Sexauer's got to be better than that. I mean, this guy's been coaching this team for quite some time, and you just let 35 seconds run off the clock, and now you got 8 seconds. What's your sophomore quarterback going to do in 8
First and 10
seconds?
Packers on their own 15.
Of course, we will be there next week at White Bear Stadium, home of the Bears, for their homecoming matchup as they'll play host to the Woodbury Royals in that one, and that should certainly be an interesting matchup as far as Suburban East Conference play goes in that rivalry, but also in that state 6A bracket.
Yeah, that'll be a huge test for White Bear Lake. Woodbury, a pretty good team normally. We'll see how they do.
As Gleb will keep it himself, pushed back, knocked down. The story of the half for the South St. Paul Packers. He's knocked down but got forward progress at the 12. That'll end it here for this first half, John, and really a dominant effort by Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Mahtomedi just winning every facet of this game. They're running it down your throats. Their offensive defensive line is getting great push off the ball, on and off the ball. Their defenders are quickly jumping plays. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Arlenson from Mahtomedi can't be stopped right now. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns, as well as Hershey's got one. The fullback's got one of his own. I mean, they're just power running it.
Well, so far, John, again, we've seen it so far. The score 22-0 here, as we'll get a look at the crowd here at Mahtomedi. Again, a very full crowd. We have halftime festivities that'll be ongoing, but of course, we do want to air that interview with new activities director Aaron Forsyth right here on SEC Sports. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're very delighted to be here, and it's not every day that we get a new athletic director coming in for an interview. We're here with Mr. Aaron Forsyth, the new athletic director for Mahtomedi High School Sports. Aaron, thank you for joining us here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What we'll do to start out with, we have a few quick rapid-fire questions for you, just to get to know you a little bit. First question we'll start out with is, if you could go anywhere in the summer, where would you go?
Put me on a lake in Minnesota anywhere with friends and family, and I'm going to have fun.
Let's talk about your favorite sport.
That's a tough one. Depends where I'm at and who's playing. Me personally right now, my vice would be golf. I spend as much time on the course as I can in my free time and really enjoy it.
We're right in the heart of fair territory here. Favorite state fair food?
Sweet Martha's cookies is a must, and I am always making sure I'm getting a pork chop on a stick when I'm there.
Favorite sports memory as a player?
As a player, that's a really tough one. In NCAA tournament in college for hockey. Great memory.
And how about as a coach?
As a coach, Suburban East Conference title 2010 for boys hockey.
And if there's one thing that you could go back and do again, what would that thing be?
I would have played more sports in high school.
So what we'll do now is we'll talk a little bit about your career and how you got to come here to join us in Mahtomedi. Take us through that path. How did you end up here?
So going back from the start in my career, I started out at Forest Lake, taught social studies there for 7 years, was the head boys hockey coach, coached JV girls golf, and coached in the weight room in the falls. Enjoyed my time there. Spent 4 years as an activities director, and this past summer took the job at Mahtomedi High School. It's been a great transition. The community's been very welcoming. We're excited to get our family involved in Mahtomedi schools and looking forward to the future there.
So speaking of Mahtomedi schools, what was it that led you to make the decision to come aboard to Mahtomedi?
You know, it was about 12 years at Forest Lake, and I really enjoyed my time there. Great community, good schools, and it was time for a change for me personally and for our family. I have 2 daughters, one 4 and one 7. My 7-year-old will be a first grader at Wildwood Elementary this year. And we're excited to be part of a community like Mahtomedi. I'm excited to serve our families and our student athletes there at Mahtomedi High School. And it really was a great fit for me professionally and also for our family moving forward.
So we spoke a little bit about what your favorite career memory as a player was. Take us through a little bit more your time at Minnesota State Mankato and how you got through playing hockey professionally as well.
I played, I also mentioned one of my biggest regrets wasn't playing more sports in high school, and I look back at it, and I one of my biggest regrets is not playing football in high school. And I looked at that, you know, as our student athletes, I think one of the biggest ways they can raise their ceiling athletically is making sure that they're playing more than just one sport. It just exposes them to so much more. And I think that's something, looking back on my athletic career, I really would have benefited from. I was fortunate, my senior year in high school, I played junior hockey with the old Twin Cities Vulcans before and after the high school season. Had a great experience there. And then went down to Minnesota State Mankato, had 4 years there, 4 great years, long-lasting friendships, and enjoyed my time there. Met my wife down at Mankato. From there, I played 1 year in the East Coast Hockey League, which is, if you're not familiar with hockey, it's like the equivalent to AA baseball. So you're eating lots of pizza and Subway on long bus rides, and traveling the country. So my first stint there was in Charleston, South Carolina, still my favorite city to this day. Was thankful to have the time there. And I still remember January 5th, 2005, I got called into the coach's general manager's office and said, you know, I sat you down and said, Aaron, we've made a deal and we're sending you to Peoria, Illinois, which couldn't have been more different than Charleston. I spent some time there in Peoria and then ended up getting traded again and finished off that season in San Diego. So for me as a 23-year-old with aspirations, you know, dreams of playing in the NHL, you're playing AA hockey and you get traded twice and experienced 3 cities, you read the writing on the wall, and I knew I wanted to connect with kids and get back into education. And instead of going back for another season, I thought, let's get my career started in education. And actually went back. I finished my 4 years at Mankato with a degree in social studies without the teaching license. It was just a way for me to get out of college with that degree in hand. And I went back and got my teaching license through the College of St. Scholastica, and 18 months later I was coaching JV hockey at Forest Lake and subbing in the district, and 2 years after I was done playing hockey, I was teaching U.S. history, and the timing worked out. I ended up being the head varsity coach at Forest Lake, spent 7 great years with that program, building great relationships with kids, had some phenomenal teams, and really enjoyed my time there.
So as you talk about that transition from being a player at a very high level to coming back and being a coach at the high school level, talk about that transition from being in the person who makes the impact on the ice to the person who's coaching those players to make that impact themselves.
You know, and I had just a wide range of experiences as a player, where there were teams where I was relied upon to eat up more minutes, for lack of a better word. And then there were teams where I struggled to earn my ice time, and I filled more of a role. And that helped me as a coach because I could connect with all of those kids with every role of the team, and really kind of getting back to the purpose of why we're doing it. I played hockey because I enjoyed the competition. I valued my time with my friends, and I had fun. And if you're not getting those things, maybe you should reevaluate while you're playing. But really making sure that our kids are getting those same experiences is what brought me back to coaching and ultimately to be an activities director.
So now that you are the activities director and you've been at Forest Lake before, what's the first thing that you really look at helping to build the strength of here in Mahtomedi? Yeah,
we have a great foundation at Mahtomedi, and it's one of the reasons I'm so excited to be there. And really is helping our student athletes, our coaches, and our families get the best out of that high school experience. And that is those things that go beyond the playing field, the court, or the ice. And how can we instill character development in our student athletes that they're going to take to a college campus down the road or into their careers after college, and really equipping them with those soft skills, those intangibles, learning the value of work ethic, teamwork, those things, how to win gracefully, and how to lose gracefully, but take those lessons, learn from them, and be better next time, whether it's a winning experience or losing experience. We want to be better going forward. And those are some of the great things we get from high school athletics.
As you've seen in the classroom as a teacher and as an activities director as well, what's your message to students concerning balancing athletics and activities and student workload as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. The reality is it's different from when I was in high school 20 years ago. The pressure on ACT scores, on AP classes, kids are being spread thinner than they ever have before, and then you throw in the social media aspect, the cell phones. It's important that kids know that they can write their own stories. Think about your family and your goals, your aspirations, and put priorities on that, and learning how to advocate for yourself. So you're talking to your AP Chem teacher and including what your practice schedule is that week and what your concert schedule might be for the month. We have incredibly well-rounded kids in our schools, and we just, as adults, making sure that we're empowering them to take care of themselves, and they're going to leave Mahtomedi High School that much better for it, and they're going to be successful when they step on a college campus and ready to get in the workforce after college.
We want to thank Mahtomedi Activities Director Aaron Forsyth for joining us for this interview here today.
Thank you.
Awesome. This is your home for Mahtomedi Athletics on SEC Sports. Well, certainly you want to thank again Athletic Activities Director, Aaron Forsyth, for joining me for that interview just a month ago as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs at halftime lead South St. Paul and the Packers 22-0. Again, as John, we talked about earlier, that tournament history for South St. Paul, they expect better than what they've seen so far this year and so far tonight specifically.
Yeah, as we talked about, since 2011, they've only missed the state tournament once, and that was in 2012. But they really have some trouble once they get into the quarterfinals, as they tend to lose there, but last year they lost in the semifinals. So, but they did go to the championship in 2015 where they got destroyed by Becker. As we talked about, South St. Paul is in 4A. They used to be in the same division as Mahtomedi, and these two used to always be at the top. South St. Paul having a really down year this year, 2-2. I think that's as many games they've lost in the last 2 years in the regular season, so not too good. But, this Mahtomedi team's just destroying these guys tonight. I mean, the Packers are not having a good game.
Homecoming, of course, brings out the pep bands, brings out the casual fans and people from all over. Again, as we take a look now at the standings for the Suburban Grade Conference, you see Mahtomedi and Tartan right there at the top, only separated by a game on that overall basis, but both 2-0 in conference play.
Yeah, as you just said, both 2-0 in conference play. Mahtomedi losing that game last week to St. Thomas Academy, so Tartan actually should be just above Mahtomedi here when it comes. But these two face off on October 12th, and that's going to be a huge game. Tartan's going to come at you with a lot faster runners, but Mahtomedi is going to come at you with the power. Whose running game is going to match up well? I think Mahtomedi. I think Mahtomedi will win that, but that's why you play the game. I mean, I think Mahtomedi is just a lot quicker on defense. Their defense is really good at running. Ball pursuit is very quick with this team. So we'll see, but that's going to be a crazy game. As you just said, Tartan's losing to Simley right now at halftime. Yeah.
Well, again, you take a look now at the South St. Paul schedule, and again, where do the Packers go from here? You look at that schedule, John, and to you and I, you say that those are pretty easy wins for the South St. Paul team, but really what we haven't seen so far proves that.
Yeah, for Mahtomedi, these are easy wins. For South St. Paul, I'm not too sure. Parker Cottage Grove, they've turned around their program the last 5 years. They've been a better team. But that should be a good game between Parker Cottage Grove, and they got that game at home, so we'll see. I've talked to one of the coaches for Park a little while back, and they're not too excited about their team this year. They know that they're not that great, but we'll see. Here's the Mahtomedi schedule. As you said, they go Forest Lake, and then, October 12th is going to decide it. I think it firmly does, because, I mean, unless Simley beats Tartan, I mean, that's huge. That'd be crazy. I mean, Simley's 0-2, 1-3 on the season. That'd be insane. I think Tartan will turn it around, unless they have an injury I don't know about. But we'll see.
We look at that score at halftime, and we see that Tartan is trailing Simley by a score of 13-0 in that one. We also look at White Bear Lake. Last we checked, they trailed the Roseville Raiders 13-10. And additionally, we don't have a score so far from North St. Paul and Forest Lake, but lots to see there. As we take a look at the upcoming broadcast, we'll have Friday football for you every single Friday from here on out through the regular season. Next week we'll be at White Bear Lake. Week after that we'll be at Mahtomedi again, that game is at Mahtomedi here as they'll play the Tartan Titans, but we also have volleyball sprinkled in there. North St. Paul Stillwater, a rematch of the section final from a year ago on that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited for White Bear Lake versus Woodbury. Me and you will be on the call for that one once again for, you Fab Four enthusiasts. But yeah, I'm excited. White Bear Lake just turning around this program. Ryan Bartlett, I mean, they're really good. They like to do these little jet sweeps from the pistol and the shotgun, and they're playing it very well. Spread option, as well as we got Sports Path next Wednesday. But that should be fun. Wrapping up the last 2 weeks what have going on, as well as gotta analyze who will be my player of the week. We got 2 weeks to look at that. Lots of great players here with the Fab Four, and I can't wait for it.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Mahtomedi football as they play the Packers here on SEC Sports.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Find out how to use an awkward silence to help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth
it. Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back, Mahtomedi High School. George Smith Field, the football team leading South St. Paul by a score of 22-0. And John, it's been really a dominant effort here for the Zephyrs tonight as they're playing homecoming football.
Yeah, Mahtomedi just playing smash mouth football, and their offensive line's just winning at the point of attack. And then they got the big running back fullbacks, as well as here's a missed touchdown pass that went to Hadley. Looks like he just started bobbling it from the get-go. Nice play that by the defender. He couldn't, had a gap right there. And he should have came down with it, but he didn't.
But of course, life will give you a second chance, and on the very next play, a quarterback sneak gives them the lead, and then on the next possession, a nice run up the middle, John, gives them the 13-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, Hershey just went untouched, hands down. That was a great offensive line, kind of opening up that hole, and he just hit it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Next possession for the Packers, it looked to be some sort of a designed run play to the outside. But for South St. Paul, as the story has been through most of the game here tonight, disaster struck.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on in this play. I mean, the running back just started running backwards. He had nowhere to go, and then there was a strip sack right there. Or not strip sack, a strip right there, and the ball goes out the end zone. It gives them an extra 2 points to go up 15-0.
Well, then Mahtomedi would get the football right back, had a nice little drive, as you see the drone providing aerial coverage of the event. Not for us, but for somebody. As you see that it sits there, again, the crowds in homecoming, part of the homecoming tradition for most schools. John, and I'm sure you experienced this at Park of Cottage Grove, but sitting on the fence and watching the homecoming action from that vantage point.
Oh, yeah, you just remember back in high school, homecoming was awesome. And it really seems like Mahtomedi only shows up to homecoming year in and year out. But nonetheless, the football team's about to come back out on this field, and we got about a minute 24 left to go in the half.
I'll be right back as these Zephyrs get fired up, looking to take the field again. It's Zephyr football on SEC Sports.
Find out how to use an awkward silence to help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth
it. Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Whatcha? Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
From the Al Sandsgaard Memorial Press Box at George Smith Field alongside John Miller, I'm Alex Westad. The players from both sides have returned to the field with Mahtomedi leading this match 22-0. I don't know why I called it a match, but that's okay. The pep band has decided to vacate the premises as the exciting second half of football will soon begin.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be really exciting for Mahtomedi. I'm sure Mahtomedi is just going to try to put some more points on the board and get that JV team out on the field, or some of their backups in. Because they're probably already looking forward to next week when they take on Forest Lake.
Mahtomedi will receive the second half opening kick, that is, and we'll look to see if they look to put this football game away as the stretching continues on both sides. John, we've talked schedules, we've talked all sorts of things here tonight. When you look at Section 4 or 5A, you see Tartan, you see North St. Paul, you see Highland Park. Who's your favorite out of 4 or 5A?
Oh, I mean, you got to like Mahtomedi. I mean, they're year in and year out. They're a great football program. Yeah, they got, well, I don't know. St. Thomas Academy shut them out. So that's a very good St. Thomas Academy team, and they could very well run the table as well. So maybe these teams meet up later on in the playoffs. I don't know, but Mahtomedi definitely, they'll be, if they don't get to state, they'll get pretty dang close. I mean, I think they definitely make it to the section championship, and they usually do. They usually play some pretty crappy teams in 5A, and then then they'll play somebody decently tough in the championship. And they're the better team normally in the sections. And they should run their way to the state tournament.
Well, as the Zephyrs come together on the field as they do before the start of every half, and they jump around and hype each other up, as the young people tend to call it these days. We'll get play going here as the clock winds down and the second half of play will begin. Again, Mahtomedi leading this one in dominating fashion, 22-0. Again, as we've talked about before, leading passer, the quarterback Jackson Lures, the senior for the South St. Paul football squad. His absence has been noted, and it's dramatically changed what the Packers have been able to do on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge blow to lose your starting quarterback and leading rusher for the whole game. I mean, I'm not sure when he got hurt. Maybe he got hurt last game, as we're not, South St. Paul commentators, but we're very unbiased. But just throw that out there. But, yeah, that's a huge blow for them. You got a sophomore quarterback right now in Gleb, and that's going to be really tough. What I do like for Mahtomedi is that if you get Arlenson going, I mean, he was splitting off with Bell at the beginning of the year. Bell, I think, is a hand injury, so he's still not playing quarterback. But if Arlenson continues to play the way he's been playing, besides last week, I mean, they're going to be really dangerous. I mean, this kid's got an arm, and he can run the ball when he needs to. He's very elusive when he decides to run.
Tangwell and Weisner back to receive for Mahtomedi as the Packers will kick from left to right across your television or computer screen. Again, thank you for joining us here on this chilly homecoming night, the last Friday in September here in 2018, and the air certainly feels like it. As the Packers will line up to kick, the ball standing at their own 40-yard line, as that'll be Gleb again, I think, to kick here. Perhaps I read that number wrong. Senior Kelly to kick it off. A short kick, bounces at the 20. He'll pick it up. He'll run as that's Tangwell. Continuing to push forward, he'll fall down and he's tackled by the Packers at the 22. And it'll be another offensive drive upcoming here for Mahtomedi.
The kick just went to the outside. Tangwell just had to pick it up, and he really had nowhere to go once he picked up that ball.
Well, 1st and 10 upcoming. Zephyrs choosing to keep their top line of offensive firepower here in the game so far, looking to add to their 22-point lead so far in this one. It'll be another I formation, 2 out to the left here. That'll be Arlenson under center. The quarterback done very well so far today. Arlenson gets the snap. He's dropping back, looking to throw onto the near side. Arlenson evades pressure. Still running. He'll step it. He'll keep it himself up the middle. Drives forward as he lowers the helmet. Gets across the 30. And a nice run there on 1st down. A 7-yard gain. 8-yard almost for Arlenson. 2nd down.
Yeah, as we just talked about, there's this elusiveness on display right there. Nothing going downfield. Although I do think he had Hadley at one point in time. But he's rolling to his offside. And that's really tough to make that kind of throw. But I think, if he would have been rolling to his strong side, he would have definitely had, time to throw that ball to Hadley where he needed to throw it.
2nd and 2, it looks like. And it's 2 on the scoreboard here from the Mahtomedi 30. We do have a Packer down on the field as the South St. Paul training staff looks to attend to him. It looks like Mike Jones, the senior defensive back.
Who?
At 170. As we'll wait for play to continue. We'll take a brief break. We'll be right back. 22-0. Mahtomedi leads. Your home for Zephyr Football, SEC Sports.
Use an awkward silence to help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth
it. Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Whatcha? Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track and ace your retirement.
Arlenson hands it off to Bjork up the middle into a couple of Packers. We'll set up 3rd down and 2. Again, we're back very quickly here. 3rd down upcoming here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Bjork really couldn't find nothing going on that one. And it's going to be set up 3rd down. This is a huge play
3rd and 2
for South St. Paul defense.
3rd and 2 upcoming. Still 13-0 Simley on the other side of town as they play the Tartan Titans. White Bear Lake 10, Roseville 13. at halftime in that game as well. Arlinson under center, one left, one right, two in the backfield. The cadence, which has been so well tonight. Arlinson keeps it up himself, not touched, still pushing forward. A nice gain for Arlinson, first down, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, nice play there by Arlinson. Once again, he follows that little center, little run play right here that they love running tonight. He just follows his big old center up the middle, number 63. That's Alex Zell, senior offensive lineman, who just continues to take charge.
Well, they battle in the trenches right on that line, and controlling the line, certainly a key to victory no matter which football team you play on. But the Zephyrs have done well tonight so far. Arlinson under center again. He'll drop back on the snap. Great protection. Throws out to the far side. It's caught there by Hadley. Hadley pushed down. Ball looks to be out. We'll see who has it. It looks like the Packers do, and they do.
So this will be the best field position for the South St. Paul offense tonight.
Complete to Hadley.
Hadley, unfortunately, just dropped the ball. It looked like, you know, he's going to get a gain of a solid 6 yards, and unfortunately, he dropped the ball.
As we take a look at it here, great protection there for Arlinson. Just a fumble by Hadley, one that the Zephyrs cannot give up.
Yeah, it just looked like the defender, number 43, just came in, stuck his hand in, and smacked the ball away from Hadley. Once again, I'm not sure who that is. I mean, that player's not on their roster. I'm guessing that's number 45, Bailey Bosch, senior linebacker.
Well, we'll see what adjustments now the Packers have made here. In the second half, they start in that same formation, that loaded box set. As Gleb gets back to it, trying to hold on to the football as the Zephyrs try to strip it out of his hands. He's pushed back. They'll give him forward progress to the Mahtomedi 42, second down.
Yeah, Dean Trowbridge just immediately in the backfield, and he shut that one down real quick.
Gleb on the carry, Trowbridge on the tackle.
I mean, Mahtomedi knows you're going to run it. I mean, eventually you got to pass the ball. They're just stacking the box, and, you know, they're saying, hey, sophomore quarterback, try me.
Well, so far it's been a very aggressive box set and filling the box, sending everything but the kitchen sink at the South St. Paul offense, and it's been very effective so far. Second and 12 rather from their own, the Mahtomedi 42. We get a flag, a half-hearted flag from that far umpire.
Flag on the play.
It'll be a false start and tack 5 yards on. It'll be second and 17.
Yeah, let's just talk about, you know, to run a 3 running back formation, South St. Paul's running backs are very small. I mean, they're all like third down running backs in the NFL, like that kind of running back, but high school football size.
Second and 17, Gleb under center, 3 in the backfield with him. Gets the ball, play action. They'll throw another little strip thing there. It looks like this time they will rule it an incomplete pass. It's the first official pass attempt for the Packers, and it comes here with 9:16 in this third quarter.
Yeah, so Zell lead blocking for Arlinson, you know, on the last drive, and he comes up with a huge quarterback pressure right there.
Third and 17.
I'd love to see this replay because it looked like it might have hit out of his hand to start. I'm not sure. Here we go. Let's see when this hand. Nope, he did get it out.
Well, good awareness by the Zephyrs to simply fall on that ball in the event that it was a fumble. Third and 17 upcoming from the 48. Gleb gets a drop back, flushed out of the pocket. Pressure comes and down he goes. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage in this instance, but it'll be a fourth down and a wasted opportunity for South St. Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you started off with the ball on the 40, and you got negative 8 yards. I mean, but now you see why they don't throw the ball. I mean, it was a simple 4-man rush, back-to-back plays, and Mahtomedi was back there within half a second.
Miatke, the punter, on to pin the Zephyrs deep, or at least attempt to. Punt, another line drive off the end of the foot, bounces inside of the 10, continues to bounce. Looks like fell between the 8 and the 9-yard line on that far side. That's where the Zephyrs will take over.
Yeah, very smart play by Tangwall. Just let that ball go. You don't want to touch it and, you know, maybe fumble it, have it go past you. Just let it go. I mean, you're up 22-0. You don't need any mistakes to give them the ball back inside the 20.
8:34 left to go here, third quarter of play. Mahtomedi 22, South St. Paul 0. The esteemed John Miller with me alongside myself, Alex Westad, as we continue to extend this Fab Four and high school football season here in the East Metro. Again, we want to thank you for joining us and your continued support so far here this season. As we see the Zephyrs hand it off. A nice run and some speed up the middle. First time runner tonight for the Zephyrs. Wasn't quite sure the number on that as we take a look. It is Nick Weisner on the carry for the first time tonight.
Yeah, second leading rusher on our team, came in the game with 71 yards. gets near 80 on this
Second
one. But yeah,
and
definitely a
4,
change of pace back
Zephyrs.
from Bjork, and I definitely think you saved Bjork's legs a little bit. The rest of this game, you know, you're on Wisner the rest of the game.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 from the Mahtomedi 14. And John, the balance attack both through air and land has been effective for Mahtomedi throughout their tenure as a football program, but also here tonight. As another handoff to Wisner to the outside. He's got a seam, pushing it up the end zone, cuts it back inside. Still going, trying to spin out of a tackle, but another Packer brought him down. A great gain on 2nd down. First down, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, it looked like a gain of about 19 yards here by Wisner. Excuse me, that was a gain of about 22. Nonetheless, I mean, Wisner's a junior. He's the heir apparent to this running game. You get him going, and next year he's going to take the reins, and he's going to do exactly what Bjork's doing this year, except with a little more speed.
Excellent cuts to try to create some space, too. He did have a seam, and he took advantage.
Oh, yeah, the great lead blocking, creating, he just hit the outside edge, and he didn't stop.
1st and 10 from the Mahtomedi 38. Harlanson under center. Throw to the outside. Quick little passes. That's Tangwell who has it. Tangwell has a first down, continuing to go, trying to beat the edge. He couldn't do so as an ankle tackle brings him down, but in Packer territory.
Yeah, I like the little play there. Looks like they gave Hadley a little room to start blocking right away on this one. Refs let him get away with it. Nonetheless, Tangwell just gets a quick pass and he starts running. Just gets tripped up. Either way, I think he would have got pushed out of bounds, but great play call right there.
1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 35-yard line.
That's wide receiver junior Steve Runkle, number 16, coming in the game. Runkle, what a name.
This will be an I formation here, 1 left, 1 right. 2 in the backfield. Harlanson under center. And that aggressive cadence again, handoff up the middle. The big man continues to push forward. He leans backward trying to get there. As we've seen Hershey do those quick little runs, those quick bursts up the middle for some yards tonight, and they do it again there.
Yeah, he just gets gained about 1. They really, Hershey just ran into his lineman. That was Shatinsky, number 76, sophomore offensive lineman. He's a big boy for a sophomore. Give us those stats. Give us, what are they?
2nd and 9, and then for Shatinsky, 6'3", 254. Woo! Big boy for a
just
sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
High formation, standard formation for the Zephyrs here on 2nd down. He got on a man to jump. It'll be a free play as they'll look on the near side. Dropped as a completion for sure. Looked for Tangwell. Hands of stone on that one. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, he just got a little too giddy on that one. But, this is who's the power trip kid? Tommy
Olson?
Tommy Olson, he's from Mahtomedi.
On the coverage.
Former Gopher offensive lineman. So, it's not like Mahtomedi can't produce some big boys.
Now looking at my roster here, John, I see Nick Dengler, number 65 on the offensive line, 6'4", 298.
Wow.
For a high schooler, that's a big frame. High formation again, 2 out to the left.
That's NFL size.
This should be a false start against Mahtomedi here, and that's exactly what they'll signal.
He almost got him again, but this time it was Trowbridge, just the tight end, just jumping off sides, getting that false start.
Backs up Mahtomedi 5 yards. The spot will be at the Packer 39-yard line.
That's okay. They're in 4-down territory
3rd
once
and
again.
14, Zephyrs.
So as the Zephyrs send in the play call, again, the crowd still filling up here, George Smith Stadium, as they do every homecoming every year. Great tradition in high school sports for alumni to return to their high school, see the changes, see the teachers, to be able to see and walk through the hallways of their high school and their childhood again. Out to the outside, Arlinson looks like he's going to keep it himself. Evades 1 tackle, still moving, still pushing to the 25. They'll give him a short spot, an unfavorable spot to my viewpoint here. It'll be 4th down and short.
Half a yard short. They'll go for it. They got the guys to get it done. As you see right here, nothing going downfield. And I think if Hershey would have just turned his head, he could have easily just pitched to Hershey. And Hershey just would have all started his way down the field. It was a big boy, just a bowling ball himself. Watch, nobody's around Hershey right here. If Hershey's, I think Arlinson did look at Hershey, but Hershey's just like, you know what, take this one yourself.
Well, the offense does say out. Again, another I formation set. Looks like they'll have 2 out to the right. As Arlinson goes under center. Trying to draw it offside, they sneak it himself, and again, it's worked so many times tonight. Why not go back to it? A 3-yard gain, first down, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, I don't know what South St. Paul is doing on defense. I mean, we all saw that one coming up here from a mile away. They've loved that play, and they just keep running. I mean, if you're not going to leave, if you're going to uncover the center and all they need is half a yard, they should have 2. I mean, if you're not going to have a nose guard, at least have 2 guys in the gap, in the A gap.
First and 10, Mahtomedi from the Packer 23-yard line as they continue to push upfield here, halfway home here in this third quarter of play. Arlinson under center again. Drops back, looking, he's got a man on the right side. That's Hadley. Hadley to the corner.
Perfectly put ball.
Did he hold on? Touchdown Zephyrs, 28-0.
He put that ball in the perfect spot. I mean, Hadley, great hands. Just reads that ball. He reminds me a lot of Andy Voyen from 2 years ago. You just throw it up to him, and he's going to come down with it.
It's like a bit of a size mismatch there, too, for South St. Paul, as Colton Becker not quite the height to get up to contest that one.
Yeah, I mean, most 6'5" players are playing offensive line or defensive line, lining up with, you know, a guy who's got the size and speed and athleticism that Hadley's got. It's just, you're going to get that matchup every time.
The extra point is through the uprights and good, 29-0. Zephyrs lead this one, 5:17 to go here in this third quarter of play.
Yeah, Mahtomedi putting in work at George Smith Field tonight.
As the Zephyrs will head back on defense, we'll take a look again very quickly at the other scores as they happen. We have halftime from North St. Paul. Again, we'll take a look at the volunteer promotion. Again, if you want to volunteer to come on out here to help us out with the games or other broadcasts that we do. Again, you see there our camera volunteers, very bundled up, very warm tonight from their posts. Again, if you'd like to do that, that email is arlen@scctv.org, and you see that phone number there again, 651-747-3821. Again, please come on out, help us out with games and anything that we do here with Suburban Community Channels.
Yeah, whether you're a parent just looking to volunteer and you want to get in close with the action, I mean, it's always a good time, as well as, you know, there's a crap ton of Carboni's pizza in the truck tonight. I just like Carboni's pizza.
The football score from North St. Paul, North 7, Forest Lake 19. And in the kick, Pilarski this time gets under it, and a nice deep kick. He'll field it at the 10-yard line to the 20, to the 30, has a hole, bounces it out to the 40, across the 45, almost to the 50. Another nice gain, and they've had some success, John, here on the kickoffs with pushing the ball up the field, but once they get the ball in offense, it's been no going.
Yeah, that was sophomore Colton Becker, you know, running back linebacker for that team, and, you know, he just got a full head of steam on this one. You got to wonder, why are they not using this kid on offense? He looked like he had great, you know, just a great player right there. I mean, that was a great play. I mean, once he started going, he didn't look like he had stopped. He had a great read of the kick coverage, and he just, you know, picked up a gain of about 25 to get them down to the, or 30, down to the 48.
No update from the 13-0 halftime score from Tartan. No update from White Bear Lake either. 13-10 Roseville in that one. Again, a loaded box set. Gelb, a nice little fake handoff there, but again, the Zephyrs with the answer as the attempt right up the middle. He got back to the line of scrimmage, second down.
Heatherston penetrated that offensive line before they even knew what happened. Watch this. Heatherston, whoop, untouched, gets to the backfield, tackles the running back. You know, if you're the running backs, you're like, hey, offensive line, what the heck's going on? I ain't got no room to run. That's the way it's been all game, and it's really kind of starting to be quite sad. Unfortunately, I mean, they're just getting beat off the line.
Communication between the quarterback Marquise Gelb. You'll notice that if you look at the stats, you see that he is the team leader in receiving yards for the South St. Paul Packers. You take away that threat and force it to be the one throwing the ball, it does affect your game plan. Gelb up the middle, I thought, but he keeps it himself, pushed to the outside, got back to the original line of scrimmage, not much further. It looks like they'll spot him a yard, third down.
Yeah, I mean, even if Gelb wanted to pitch that ball there, and running back wouldn't have got any yards either. I mean, unfortunately, there's just nowhere to go. I mean, this was a great read right here by number 14 for Mahtomedi. That's Andrew Murphy. He cut that option pass off right there, and quarterback had nowhere to go.
Third and looks to be halfway between the 9 and the 8.
Option pitch, excuse me.
As the crowd comes to life here at George Smith Field, home of the Zephyrs for many, many years. As Gelb will or Gleb rather, will get under center here. Taking the snap again, another loaded set for these Packers. Gleb gets a snap, handcuffed with it, pushed to the outside, but the big man gets in there and does some damage. Heatherston breaks through the line and brings him for a huge loss.
Once again, Heatherston is just unblocked coming in on this play. Watch him, he just gets past the defense. Whoop! They had a little running back trying to block him, and that's bad news Bears.
It's almost like when there's your little brother that's trying to run away, and you just reach out and grab the shirt of him and pull him to the ground.
Right.
It's exactly what happened on that play.
It's like one of those parents with a leash at the park. It's exactly what he did. Get back here.
Miyake to punt again here for the Packers. He's been topping them out, line drives most of the night, and there's another line drive that'll take a bounce to the 30. It's picked up there by Tangwall to the far side, keeps moving. He's knocked out of bounds at the 35, and they'll spot him at the 33. A nice little return there for the Packers, or for the Zephyrs rather. That's what they'll set up 1st and 10.
Yeah, he just, went and read the ball, and he picked it up, and he picked up some extra yards here, and eventually gets out of bounds. They start off with a 33. Let's see what kind of offensive players Mahtomedi starts bringing here. Arlinson's still out there. This is probably, I would say, his last drive of the game.
Starting to see some receivers and linemen shuffled through as more players get a chance to play on homecoming. Arlinson under center, I formation again. Gives a handoff to the left side. He does have some space. Cut the edge. Keeps churning before a couple of Packers bring him down at the South St. Paul 45. A nice little run to the outside there, Nick Weisner.
Yeah, watch this. Weisner, if he doesn't get touched right
Run is good enough for another Mahtomedi
here,
first down.
he's gone. I mean, if that wide receiver holds his block for an extra half a second, nobody was going to touch him. I mean, what a great run right there, and a great hole opened up once again by this Mahtomedi offensive line. I mean, they're playing fantastic, and they do shuffle a lot of offensive line. Heatherston, you'll see, come in and out. They're just going to run it down your throat. I mean, we haven't seen Bjork in the whole quarter.
1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 45.
Oh, there he is.
As John mentioned, there is Bjork and the big back Hershey in the backfield for Mahtomedi. They jump offside again, and that'll be another 5 yards. The miscues from South St. Paul have to be frustrating, John.
Oh, yeah, if you're Coach Sexauer, you're going to do what you're taught in 3rd grade. The coach is going to sit there, and he's going to hold the ball in front of your face and say, hut, 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 until he moves the ball, and then you can't move, or else you're probably going to be running some laps or something. I mean, it's quite pathetic because they've jumped off. They could have been called for a few offsides tonight that haven't been called, and they showed on the replay that they jumped offsides once again. I don't know what's going on with this team, but that's a very, very undisciplined defensive line.
1st and 5, hand off to the far side. He's got a hole before running into a army of Packers there. That was a nice little run. Josh Pramel makes his first appearance on the football field. In this one tonight, it'll be a 1st down for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Josh Pramel, I'm pretty sure his brother, I'm guessing, he used to play quarterback for Mahtomedi 2 years ago, Anthony Pramel. Anthony Pramel is very good. Him and Andy Voyan had quite the connection. Pramel, good running the ball. He's really he was a little taller version of Arlinson. This Coach Metzel system is fantastic. It's just instilled in these kids from a young age, and they play together and they play real well.
1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 31. Arlinson hands it off again. Another new runner to the outside on the right side, as that's Austin Schulte, the quarterback defensive back as he's listed, gets a run to the outside. 2nd down.
Kozlak on the carry.
Yeah, Kozlak, number 32.
Christopherson on the tackle.
Got a gain of about 4 on that one. Set up 2nd and 7. We're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter here, Alex, and for South St. Paul, this game can't end fast enough.
Under a minute now left to go. 2nd and 7 officially on the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, I mean, they got some smaller kids. I mean, Arlinson's done after this drive.
Arlinson under center.
Almost got him to jump again.
Hands it off up the middle. Big legs churning and burning, as that time it was Pramel who got the ball again. 1st down Mahtomedi as the clock stops to allow the offense a chance to reset.
I just can't believe how good this hard count's working. I mean, he's not Aaron Rodgers out there, and he's getting these guys to just jump a little bit every time.
I mean, John, if you're wearing a Packer sweater tonight, if you were to throw the green and gold on the quarterback Arlinson tonight, you'd be hard convinced to tell that he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fantastic analogy right there, Alex.
1st and 10 from the South St. Paul 20. Clock winds down now inside of almost 20 seconds to go. Harlanson will be under center again. I formation set behind him. One left, one to the right. Harlanson gets a snap, hand up off the middle. A couple of yards there. As again, that's Schulte who got a couple of yards.
Kozlak on the carry.
As that'll wind the clock down here. Third quarter expired. Only 7 points in favor of Mahtomedi in that quarter there, John, but the score now reads 29-0.
Yeah, I mean, Mahtomedi, once again, they just dominated that quarter, and, you know, they were playing fantastic.
We want to take a look now at John's bi-weekly feature, Athletes of the Week, here on SEC Sports.
All right, for my male athlete of the week, I really didn't have to look too hard. You know, I broadcasted this game, and this was sophomore defensive back and wide receiver who just dominated. If you can't guess from the earlier highlights, it's Dorian Singer out of Tartan. He had 2 interceptions, one of which was returned for that awesome touchdown about 80 yards, as well as a beautiful catch for a touchdown, overcoming the defender. Have a day, young man. You have a bright future ahead of you, and I'm excited to see where you're at during your senior year. Now, for my female athlete of the week, I have to go with White Bear Lake soccer player, junior forward, Kayla Anderson. And now in a 9-1 win over Forest Lake on the 13th of this month, she scored not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 goals. That's a very impressive day. Have a day, young woman. You know, so congratulations to you two, and I look forward to seeing who are my athletes of the week in 2 weeks from now. But for now, that's it for my athletes of the week.
Well, it's quickly back onto the field to start the fourth quarter. New quarterback in. As the rush goes to the outside. That was Pramel that had it. May have gained a couple. Looks like they'll give him the original spot, though, and that'll be third down upcoming. New quarterback in for the Zephyrs, assuming I read the number right. It's junior at 6'2", Benjamin Allen, who will come in and finish this one out for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, Allen, the junior backup quarterback. No surprise that he was going to come in eventually in this game. Like I told you, in the second quarter, Mahtomedi's goal was to bring these guys in by the fourth quarter.
Well, they'll set up here again, 3rd and 8 upcoming from the South St. Paul 17 as the Zephyrs look to push ahead. I don't quite remember off the top of my head what the mercy rule was, but we may be getting close to that.
I think it's 35.
Anderson rolls out a dump over the middle, too far as he was looking and trying to get the pass to the tight end, Devin Melzer, just over his head. 4th down upcoming.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to miss Melzer. Give me the stats on that guy.
Melzer, 85, 6'5", 235.
Just a little, you know, a little jittery on that pass. You know, first pass of him for the game. Melzer's a big boy.
4th and 7 for the Zephyrs.
Looks like he's a little injured on that one, coming off the field hobbled.
Looks like we will see a kick here, a field goal attempt. It'll be about, as they spot the ball at the 17, that'll be about a 35-ish yard kick, if I'm doing my math correct, as it'll be Kozlak on to kick.
Yep, should be a 35-yarder.
Snaps down, it's fumbled. They'll have to try to do something with it. Kozlak, though, tackled immediately as that's Mitch Werner. They're ready to make the play. Way to step up, freshman. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, just a terrible snap. Just ruined that whole play. I mean, there's no other analysis I can throw out there, but, I mean, Mahtomedi looking to go up 32-0. Snap skipped over, and, you know, Pilarski, you know, he may be a great athlete, a great hockey player, but he can't take on the whole South St. Paul defense by himself.
Well, a lucky break for South St. Paul, and again, we'll see if they can do something with it here. Still being held to a shutout, and certainly head coach for the Zephyrs, Dave Metzel, will be happy to have a shutout, but certainly would like to see them move the ball with a little more efficiency.
Yeah, nothing but backups in on defense now, Alex.
Gelb will keep it himself. That's Gleb, rather, and he's met again by the Mahtomedi defense. As you see, again, this junior varsity squad starting to come on now for Mahtomedi. They're here now. We can really see a significant size difference between the two squads.
Yeah, they look like they're the same size now. Mahtomedi is just a little bigger, but that's why Mahtomedi is a 5A school. South St. Paul's 4A, but like we've talked about the last few years, South St. Paul has been at the top of their division when they were in the same division with Mahtomedi. Or, yeah, now they're still in the same division, excuse me.
John, one thing I've noticed now is the plays seem to come in and the quarterback Gleb starts to bark them out, as we'll get to that a little bit further. Sends a man in motion. Pass play over the middle. It's complete. First completion of the game for the South St. Paul Packers over the middle to Jamison Snook, the senior with 210 pounds of weight on him. First down, South St. Paul.
I love that play call. Where has that been all game? I mean, just a quick hitter, run your tight end out. I mean, one read play, and he knew exactly where he was going. And
play is good enough for a Packer first down.
I don't know where that play was all game. They just kept trying to run it up the middle and run it up the middle and run it up the middle, and they just kept getting shut down, and it just, I could say shut down 8 more times if they got shut down.
Another hand up off the middle. This time this one works. Flag comes in. Looks like he has a first down, as I believe that was Wilebski Hendrickson up the middle. We'll see what the flag is. But John, the point that I wanted to bring back to was I noticed that the South St. Paul players seem to be looking at their wristbands on their arms a lot. What do you make of that?
Well, that means they're throwing the play into Gelb. Clearly the coach has a play, and he's telling them the number or whatever signal they have for that play that's on the wristband, and then Gelb or Gleb. God, you got me saying Gelb. But Gleb, then Gleb will say what play that is. They'll look at their wristband and know exactly what they need to run for that one. You're seeing a lot of that in college. I mean, these guys, that gets the hurry-up offense going.
Well, the holding penalty, which allowed that opening to be created for South St. Paul, backs them up 10 yards. They'll play from their own 35. Gleb up the center as he handed it off. Another nice run for South St. Paul up the middle. I think, again, this one it looks like Cam Klunder was the one who got that, although I may have read the number wrong.
On the
so that is Wilebski Hendrickson again. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8, Packers.
Nice run right there by Hendrickson, but no laundry on the field this time. They get the gain. Still 2nd and 8.
It'll be Gleb. Goes back under center. Again, that loaded formation that we've seen all night long. Sends a man out to the left. In motion, the hand up off the middle. Or a little pitch, rather. Again, I keep getting fooled by it. A nice run as he pushes forward across the 40. And now the run game has started to work for South St. Paul as Mitch Felton has come into the game and another first down.
They just needed Mahtomedi's backups to come in to finally get the ball moving. I mean, now they could finally put points on the board. 8:57 left to go in the 4th quarter.
First down, Packers.
I mean, I just don't know, even if you do score on this drive, how good you really feel about yourself knowing that Mahtomedi, it's just, they're saying, hey, JV squad, go out there and make some plays.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Mahtomedi 40. Again, we've seen this good field position for the Packers tonight, but they haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, he should have pitched the ball right there. His man,
he
had some space.
Toure on the tackle.
Gleb with a gain of 2 off to the right side. 2nd and 8 upcoming here for the Zephyrs.
He just had to hold it a little bit longer and then pitch it because his running back had wide open spaces to run that ball if he would have got it. It would have been just like the play before, except to the opposite side.
Play comes in here to Gleb and the South St. Paul offense. Now inside of 8 minutes left to go in this one. 29-0. Mahtomedi has led from their first possession. They look to put this one away here on Homecoming Friday. Gleb under center. Handoff again. He'll keep it himself. He's got a bit of a hole and a missed tackle, but a great effort to hold on as the junior Nick Ficadenti, the wide receiver defensive back, is able to hold on and make that tackle.
Yeah, nice play right there once again by Gleb, and Gleb's playing really well this drive, but, if Lures is out, I mean, you want to get this kid some more confidence. Maybe that's one thing that you can, write off this drive. I mean, but still. Sophomore quarterback, I mean, we saw it with North St. Paul. They make a lot of mistakes, the coach's son over there. It's just tough to win a ball game against a division opponent in their own field with a quarterback who's making his first start of his career.
Up the middle again, the handoff was to Wilebski Hendrickson. A nice gain there. Sets up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, if we could run that replay back, Tristan Thill saw a whole lot of butt crack on that one. There you go. Yep, there you go. Right there. Booty hanging out.
2nd and 4 and coming here for South St. Paul. This will be Gleb under center again. 3 in the backfield. He'll send a man out to the left. Gleb will keep it himself. Nice run with some space up the middle. He got the first down at the 15. That'll be another first down for South St. Paul. And this, John, really their best field position at any point in the game tonight.
Yeah, Gleb just taking a note out of Mahtomedi's book. He takes it himself, and he keeps those feet churning.
Good enough for a Packer first down.
He's got big old Thill there to tackle him, but, Thill push back about 5 or 6 yards and make that play. I mean, you never like to see your defensive lineman making a tackle being pushed back 6 yards.
First and 10 from the Mahtomedi 15-yard line. Gleb under center again, loaded backfield, hand up the middle. The punter slash kicker slash running back, Sam Miatke, first time we've called his name in a while, puts a couple of yards on the ball, second down.
Yeah, nice little play right here. Keep those legs moving. Gets a gain of about 3. Sets up 2nd and 7. 6 minutes left to go.
I
will say, John, the South St. Paul offense and the way in which they've ran the ball has fooled me a couple of times tonight, so it's certainly a good thing that I'm not on that football field.
Yeah, no kidding, but it's really, South St. Paul must have lost a lot of players. I mean, the last 2 years, they've been a very, very good football team. But then again, they're playing up on higher competition, maybe against 4A when they get to the playoffs. He fumbled the ball.
Gleb fumbles the football. Mahtomedi was the first one to it. They will have possession, and a positive drive for South St. Paul. Again, ends in heartbreak.
Jack Bjork on the fumble recovery.
Bjork on the recovery.
Just unsure of the ball, way too loose with it there, John. You saw the arm swinging from side to side. You can't do that with the football. Great job of getting it on that outside part, but just not good ball handling on that play.
Yeah, Isaac Hohenbrink on the fumble, caused the forced fumble, and Bjork is there to pick it up. Nice play by the Mahtomedi backup defense, making a play. Just not what you want to see, but as we talked about, he's a sophomore. Gleb's a sophomore. He's going to make mistakes. Turnovers happen. Here's guessing a false start here.
We'll get a flag from the back judge. Kind of odd for a false start to come from that position, but we'll see what it is. No, okay, they just picked up the flag. That's what they'll rule, and they'll tell us that, of course, by waving the flag high above their head. And now some miscommunication between players and officials ensues.
I'm not sure what happened there.
We get 1st and 10 here. I formation set, one left, one right. It's a handoff up the middle. Big man using 2 hands to protect that football. Gain of 5 up the middle. I want to say that was Hershey, but I didn't quite see the number. That's not Hershey. That's Hunter Hall on the run up the middle.
Hall just, covers the ball, drags some defenders. That's what you like to see. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. It's really all you can ask of your fullback. 4 yards. That's more than they really bargained for. I mean, like 2 or 3. He gets you 4.
2nd and 6 officially from their own 16 for the Zephyrs. I formation again. Their base set that they've used most of the night. It's a cadence very effective even now by the backup quarterback, Allen. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty that'll add to what Mahtomedi has been doing all night long with that successful cadence at the line.
South St. Paul, what are you doing? I mean, it's all game with this. At least the quarterback's got Aaron Rodgers' number this time on. Number 12, there we go.
Well, John, I understand the desire to step up and make a play, but at the same time, the little miscues and the unforced errors have really killed the Packers tonight.
The ball's right in front of you. Look at it. I mean, eventually once or twice is fine, but once or twice every drive, that's insane.
Pushed off to the offside was the runner. They keep saying Kozlak, even though Schulte is listed in our program. That'll be a loss of 1 third down.
Yeah, it's Kozlak on this roster. It's something else on that roster. So, easy mistake. Kozlak on this one's got, so it must have changed eventually from this varsity roster in this pamphlet.
It'll be 3rd and 2 upcoming here from the Mahtomedi 20. And the clock continuing to wind down as the Zephyrs are content to run the football up the middle as much as they can.
Oh yeah, they just want to run this game out. Just continue to pick up first down after first down. It's 3rd and 2. They pick up another first down, take another couple minutes off the clock, and they'll get that one easily. Is that Kozlak? Nope, that's Pramel.
Pramel run up the middle. That moves chains. I believe that would be spotted at a 5-yard gain. First down, Mahtomedi.
Yeah, nice job by Pramel, just hitting the hole. He hit it quick, and he gets 4 yards, 2 more than he needed.
1st and 10 upcoming from the Mahtomedi 25. Again, inside of 4 minutes now to go here in this 4th quarter of play. Mahtomedi dominant from the start, leading 29-0. Allen under center again, 1 left, 1 right. loaded backfield, 2 behind him in the I formation. And off of the middle again, big man, big body, churning the legs, pushing forward for a few more yards. Hunter Hall again on the carry. Third down.
On the carry.
Oh, sorry, that was in my
on the tackle.
mic number 2.
Second down and 10
Second
upcoming.
and 10, Zephyrs.
Mahtomedi just wants to run this clock out, just continue to hand it off.
Allen under center, gets the snap, handoff into the backfield. Pramel again. Couple of carries, he cuts it back to the near side. He may have a seam, cutting it back on a nice block. Across the 45, down at the 48. A nice run there by Anthony Pramel.
Pramel, what you doing, baby? You could have bounced that one outside and picked up a lot more yards on that one.
On the tackle.
Of course, that's Josh Pramel, not Anthony Pramel. Pramel, again, as John mentioned, played a couple of years ago for this Mahtomedi football squad. But hey, with families, that will tend to happen.
Yeah, I don't know why he cut that back in, to tell you the truth. I mean, he had a wide open spaces in the outside of the field. He just has to let his receiver make that block, and he's gone.
First and 10 from the Mahtomedi 48. Allen again. Traditional set that we've seen from the Zephyr offense so far, so many times tonight. So Allen gets the handoff, Kozlak rather, up the middle. Couple of yards there. Looks like they'll spot it at 3, maybe 2.
Center on the tackle.
Maybe second down.
Getting near that 2-minute mark. This game's just about over, but I mean, you gotta like what you're seeing out of this backup squad from Mahtomedi. You know, a lot of players will be playing next year, as well as you got Pramel, who's a junior. You got the quarterback, Allen, who's a junior. You get these guys confidence, and that's what Mahtomedi seems to do. They always make sure they get the backups for next year. A lot of playing time the year before, because these guys are really going to have a big role next year.
Second and 8. Upcoming here for Mahtomedi from their 49-yard line, almost across midfield again. South St. Paul line again, watching some movement on the left side. Referees content to keep their flags in their pockets. A nice run, though, by someone up the middle. Gain of 6, second, third down.
As he said that, ref threw a flag way high. So get some launcher down the field at the 31, way behind the line of scrimmage.
Looks like another penalty against South St. Paul. Penalty is going to cause a first down, as it looks like we'll give the spot, as the referee will continue to mark off more yardage. I'm not really sure what the penalty was. I heard personal foul in the press box, and they'll mark it at the South St. Paul 29-yard line with 1:37 to go here.
Yeah, I really never seen that arm movement to call a penalty, but nonetheless.
I was thinking the same thing, too. I thought it was a little weird. I thought they had declined it. But
yeah, I trust the penalty. I trust the guys up in the box. They've watched plenty of high school football. I mean, so have we, but I've never seen that.
Run to the left side. Knocked down.
We should be able to run out the clock here on this drive, and I think that's exactly what they'll do, unless they score a touchdown. Barring this one, Mahtomedi is going to win 29-0. So Mahtomedi, you know, besides getting shut out, have scored 20 points or more in every single game they've played this year in all 5 games. They got that big 0 against St. Thomas, and that's gonna. I think that one's gonna haunt them in the end.
Second and 11 here. Another new quarterback under center. Again, some quick movement there on the line, right up the middle, as that was a junior varsity player, number 15 on the roster. That's Austin Schulte with the hand up off the middle. And that was 42. Again, Hall on the carry as the clock winds down now. 30 seconds left to go in this one.
Yeah, it could be it. I also got to run one more. I think Schulte just asked him if he's got a
3rd and 9.
If he's got to run a play, but I don't think he does. I think that's game over. And that'll be it. Yep, Schulte's coming off, taking out the head, taking off the face mask, taking off the helmet. And what a win. A great win by Mahtomedi tonight. 29-0, just an absolute domination by them at home at George Smith Field.
Well, John, you saw it yourself again. Really this game never in doubt except for when we looked at it on paper before the game. Really a nice bounce back win here for Mahtomedi to get back on the winning side before this big stretch here to end the regular season.
Oh yeah, and I think they could definitely run the table. As we talked about, October 12th is the big game. Mike Peden will be on the call for that one. That is tape delayed, but we will have that game for you here on SEC TV. Or else just show up here and you can watch the game. Or is that at Tartan?
I believe that matchup will be here, George Smith Field.
Yep, it is here, George Smith Field.
Certainly, again, if you cannot watch us on TV, I know that Mike will have a wonderful broadcast for us. Please come on out here, support the Zephyrs and their efforts tonight. Again, the final 29 for the Zephyrs, 0 for the South St. Paul Packers, as the Zephyrs improve to 4-1 and the Packers fall to 2-3. For John Miller, Arlen Becker, Anthony Miller, and our entire SEC production crew, I am Alex Westad. We want to thank you for joining us here from George Smith Field on this perfect Friday night. This is your home for Zephyr Football SEC Sports.